Good morning, Sassy fam. Welcome to your Thursday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. Today's check-in is for the past, present, and future. Past, present, future, 5-card baseline, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I briefly look at a little bit of the past, a little bit of the present, and a little bit of the future, and then clarification throughout. Like always with this tarot reading, as with all tarot readings, take it resonates, leave it does not. And if a second energy pops up on your board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. You guys got back from a lovely long weekend with Minnie. We went out of town for a bit and we did all the kind of standard usual fall fun things. So we did the pumpkin picking and we did the hay rides and then we did some hiking and then we did some of the haunted house stuff too. So just fun. And yes, I got my bake on. It was just great. It was just a wonderful weekend, exactly what we needed. And then I came back to absolute chaos via my inbox. We did not get shorts out this week. You'll have to excuse me. Something had to something had to be cut. Something had to give. I had to get something off my plate, honey. It just wasn't going to happen. There's a lot going on in the world and it reflected in my inbox. But anyway, that's the chaos from the other portion of my life. And then in dealing with some of that chaos and all the physical activity, we're back in the brace. Many of you recognize it. Yes, we're back in the brace. No worries once more for me. For those of you who don't know, it's just a little extra support to keep my back muscles warm, especially if I anticipate training later in the day, and I do. And that's not all, honey. I need my elbow brace too. Ow. I just recently increased my weight set and my elbow is angry. It's not happy with me right now. So I need to get my elbow wrap. I have a brace and get one of those on, just get extra support because it's not happy every time. Anytime I increase any sort of set, something mechanically kicks off. Like, what are you doing? Why did you add more? Why did you add more? Why did you add more reps? Why did you add more weight? Why? I'm okay. Yeah, just keeping up to task and challenging myself a bit more. That's all. And then my body's like, no. We don't like you right now, and we want you to know it. Also, I did my part for Our Lady of Perpetual Lawn Care. So I was out there with the rake and just being very, very physical. I'm just that person, guys. I am that person that is happily active. I don't mean to overload my schedule. I really don't. I'm one of those people. I like to be busy. I know it disappoints folks, but I'm really not a couch and chill person. I like to stay busy. That's just how I am. All right, you guys. No, that's it. I'm pretty sure if there's anything else I recall, outro. It will be destined for outro, yes? We are still in Libra season. Once more, happy birthday to Libra. And I couldn't help but note in these past couple of check-ins, there's been lots of Scorpio references. It's just the upcoming time, and it's just that time of year. So I'm seeing a lot of end-of-year things, cycles, but also people keeping in mind the newness of it as well. So a lot going on in the readings is my point. Just anticipate that in your check-in today. Okay, you guys, that's about it. Yes, I will see you at the Sunday check-in, and I will see you at your sign today. Take care. Be well. Leo, what's up? Show me, Leo. What's going on? What's going on for Leo? Okay. Pass. 2 of Pentacles. Rising into the King of Cups. Ace of Wands in present day. Okay. Before you, 2 of Cups. Outcome is the Knight of Cups. Aw. That's so sweet. After that 2 of Pentacles, it really kind of takes off, doesn't it? A little bit of back and forth in the past. How far back in the past is up to you, be it recent or old. Again, you would know best. Take it as it resonates. And a back and forth, King of Cups rising. Is my heart in this? Okay. Can I be open to this? Am I ready for this? You went back and forth actually on this subject for a while. It's kind of like, I know I can love big. I know I can have deep feelings. I know I can. But can I open up to this? You're showing me caution there. It's like, I know me. I know that when I love deep. Should I get involved? It's like, because once I'm in there, oh boy, I'm a big feeler for the Leo I'm looking at. You can have very strong feelings and a very loyal heart. But you asked yourself quite seriously for some time, Two of Pentacles, should I open up? Should I get involved? Should I lay it on the line? I hear you. Ace of Wands in present day, you dialed something in. You seem to be more inspired today than you were yesterday. More lit today than yesterday. Okay? And the Ace of Wands is, of course, your master symbol, so it hits a little different. It suggests this is it. I see it. I feel it. Okay. Out there, Two of Cups, Knight of Cups is nothing but love. The expression of it, giving and receiving. Okay, so it looks like you chose. And it looks like, yes, you can. Yes, you can be open to this. That's a lot of love there. It's beautifully expressed. Well done. It's very well done. Very romantic. Okay. Well, you wanted to know if you can put your heart on the line. It looks like you can. The most curious element by far actually isn't this. Two of Pentacles. Why so long? But time is different for everyone. All right, let's take a look. FYI, communication. I just happened to catch that. I don't always look at the underlying, but I saw it. Two of Pentacles, King of Cups. What's up? Two of Pentacles, King of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Okay. Queen of Cups, the world as the star. Of course, honey, I know. Yeah, well, that would be enough to delay anybody. You ever opened up your heart in a big way and then you kind of regretted it? I say that that's happened to you. You know what it's like to open up your heart in a big, bold way. Full claimancy. So the King and Queen of Cups, that's their whole gig, is claimancy. This is what I feel, full stop. It's not always love. Sometimes it's very negative emotions. The point is, they're mature enough to say so. I own this feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. I'm not being shy. I'm not being coy. I'm not avoiding. This is how I really authentically feel. Okay? And I can see where in the past, of course, you've opened up your beautiful heart. You have some serious water in there, or at least one critical placement, Such as, just to hazard a guess, if Scorpio was your Venus, something like that. Anyway, I can see that you've opened that beautiful heart before, and you've had cycles come and go. It's very overarching, so it's kind of a broad view. I don't think you're a hopeless romantic. No. It might look that way over here. A hopeless romantic is someone who can cycle their emotional feelings very quickly. In other words, it's whoever inspires them next emotionally. That's more of a hopeless romantic. And it looks great in TV and in films, but in real life, those people got problems just like anybody else. Like someone who can't control their fire. They can't control their emotions. You're showing me, I've had full heart for people, places, things, situations, circumstances, and I've had to close it off, and it hurts. It's hard for you then to dislodge your feelings. Okay. I understand. And hence the back and forth, because I tell you why. I don't know how many cycles in love you've experienced before, okay? But you're saying, I got hit with a star. I started reaching for something, or at least I believe I did, or my heart did, and realistically, I got to know if I could step in that, because I'm inspired. I'm not going to lie. I'm inspired. My heart's inspired. But Christina, real talk, Two of Pentacles. Should I go there realistically? Should I invest in it? It's one thing to feel it and be inspired to open up the heart again, but oh my God. To do it again, where the rubber meets the road, and start investing in it, allowing myself to invest in it and be safe in that feeling, be safe in that investment. So being inspired is one thing, and this is what I tell people all the time, so thank you for pointing that out. What we feel and what we do are often two different things. Okay. So will you? Will you? Some of you are like big on investment. You know what it is to be disappointed in investment. And that includes the emotional self as well. Okay? I'll press on that just a little more. But yeah, I can see where your heart's been inspired. I don't think we need too much more. I think we got the background there, the working theory, if you will. But your biggest takeaway from there is that you have a beautiful heart. And it's scary, the idea of opening up again. Especially, yeah, see, it's on your mind. Queen of Swords and the Four of Cups. Yeah, you are acutely aware of disappointment. And what could be had is the consequences of opening your heart and really stepping into it and choosing love, and know that you're choosing love. Yeah. Okay, you're familiar with the subject. I got it. All right, Ace of Wands. Catching up into present day. Ace of Wands. Let's see that, please. Goodness me. Who the heck inspired that heart of yours then? Who the heck inspired that? It must be something, honey. You bypassed the Page of Cups. You went straight for the Star. So, goodness me. It's quite the vision. King of Wands, King of Cups, and the Ace. Oh, you just... Wow. 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 Oh, I'm so proud of you. I am. Oh, wow. You're going to do it. You're totally going to do it. There you are. That's your natural state of grace, is the King of Wands. And there's that King of Cups again. So I'm just calling it. So you got some really interesting Scorpio in your chart, even if it's like one. It's a very important piece. You have such a strong heart. And Ace of Wands, it's like you cannot be denied. Yeah, you don't want to be. You are so inspired. You're so turned on. You're so lit. Yeah, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're feeling it so much now. Now. Gosh, honey, it's all but scorching. Oh, that's the best looking heartburn I've ever seen in my life. No, that's wonderful. Oh, I want you to do it. I want you to. I want you to open up. If you resonate and if you feel safe, I just hope that you do. Look at that. Look at that. It's how bold it is. Your master symbol, Ace of Wands, is here twice. You already showed me your kind of heart value. Okay. You appreciate the emotional depth. You very much desire emotional loyalty. So no, I don't think you're a hopeless romantic. I don't think that you want to open your heart every day. I don't think you fall in love every day. No, I don't. Gosh. Oh, you go on then. Oh, you go on. You look great. You feel great. Oh my goodness. If we could put that in a pill. Okay. Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And there you go. I see you softening. Expressing yourself. And the whole point is, maybe they're on the same page with me. I hope so. Well, you're going to find out. With energy like that, this Leo's going to find out. You're going to find out. Two of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Wands. Two of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it looks like someone wants to find out with you. They're showing me kind of grounded point of view. That Two of Pentacles that you dealt with back here, they also have to contend with, but it's very realistic. They want to find out sooner rather than later. To them, it's all about, does it work, yes or no? Either we can put time, energy, and effort into this, and then I have proof that it's working, or it's not, in which case they call it quits. So they have a kind of faster sorting method at Two of Pentacles. Look, it either works or it doesn't. We either invest. So I see someone sharing that fire with you. So it could be a fellow fire sign, for certain, or perhaps they're just very charismatic, or they're just gorgeous, or they just have that kind of light, vibrant energy. I don't know, but their Two of Pentacles version is faster. Look, it either starts shaping up or it don't. We either feel the same way or we don't. We're either putting in the same amount of time or we aren't. And I have to agree with that person. It really is that simple. So for your part, you're showing me emotional expression. I want to know that we're on the same page. And they're like, same. It's just realistic. If we're on the same page, we'll know sooner rather than later. Exactly. So I completely agree with that. Anything else, please? Page of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the High Priestess. Intuition, either you or them. I'm going to default to you because it is your reading. Page of Wands, Ten of Swords, the High Priestess. There is that fear of being hurt again. I know. And that's part of the rolling the dice, and that's something you've already been thinking about. You know that. You know that. But also listen to yourself. It's better to be open than closed off. It is better to be open and to try than to fear an ending that may not happen. You know? I know. There's always that fear of being hurt, but your intuition's saying, keep yourself open, see where it goes. That's why we're here. It's beautiful. So take this and run with it. Guys, all that tells me is that you've been hurt in love before, and that little bit of fear you're going to have with the old Ten of Swords, you know it's there. You know it exists. Okay? And that fear of the past and the hurts of the past is never so strongly felt is when we're trying. You know, we're opening up at long last and we're feeling things and it feels good, but we're kind of scared. Okay. It's normal. I want you to go back to this feeling right here. All right. This is correct. This is authentically you. Whatever that is, someone is opening up with you. Theirs is more from the realistic. It either works or it doesn't. 3D point of view. Yours is emotionality. Okay? And you two are finding your place together. Okay? But yeah, please listen to yourself. Remain open. When in doubt, when you have those moments of fear, and you will, remain open to what's happening, not the past. Okay? You'll be all right. Let's take it from there. Okay. Bound patterns. Some of you feel like you're coming from toxic bound patterns, particularly about perhaps your choices of mates in the past. I understand. So do the opposite, right? What does that mean? Don't choose the same person wrapped up in a different body. Okay? If you have a pattern, get out of your pattern. If you have a type, stop saying yes to your type. Stop looking for your type. Say yes to the person who is consistent. Okay? Consistent behaviors and expression. All right? That's it. That's always the first piece of advice. I always meet the same person. Okay, that means you're the common denominator. Real talk. Stop going for types, especially if you have one of these big, beautiful, bold hearts that when you love hard. All the more reason you are obligated to look at those patterns, see them for what they are, and stop choosing them. Okay? It's the ones that show up and are consistent, the ones that make you feel safe. That means less butterflies. That means less chemistry. Okay? But that means more stability. See, Dark Night of the Soul, counsel and therapy. Yeah, you've been doing the work, so don't forget what you've learned. You've been doing the work. Don't forget it. Don't forget everything that you've learned. Okay? You've come too far. You've come too far. Gosh, look at the way you open up. It's beautiful. You took your time. You didn't rush back into anything. Good. I'm glad you didn't. See, I'm telling you, some of you either have Leo as your Venus or Scorpio as your Venus. But there's the rose of Venus. Yes, beauty. The natural beauty and unfolding sweetness there. I see that. We have the medallion of Virgo. You might have some very strong Virgo in your chart. Could be connecting to. This season might be important to you. The letters P and W. We also have the wolf upright. In the positive, it's seen as territorial, protective, Okay, a good hunter. In the negative, it's seen as, well, cunning, stealthy, okay, possessive. Which one are you? We have a little bicycle here. For some of you, confirmation, profession, hobby, you like to ride your bike, or it's symbolic to you for some reason. Okay, Leo, honey, I do hope this helped you. Good job. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag, what's up? Show me Sagittarius, please. Show me Sag. Yeah. What's up, Saggy? Okay. Past. Seven of Wands, rising into the Ace of Cups. Back up. Present day, Five of Pentacles. Before you, Eight of Swords. The outcome is the Page of Pentacles. What happened here? In the past, when? That's up to you. Okay? Could be recent, could be long term. Seven of Wands. It either resonates or it doesn't. You were on your guard about a love potential here in the past. I don't see you rejecting it, but I didn't see you fully accepting it either. You were on your guard. It was love. It was a big old cup. Big old cup. Like I said, Seven of Wands isn't necessarily blocking. It's just I'm on my guard, defending my position. If you wanted to reject this from the outset, you could. That'd be a little different. So it's kind of like I have my eyes on that cup. I see it. And I'm on my guard with it. But you didn't full on reject it. You kept your eye on it. You kept some energy towards it. Okay. And Five of Pentacles in present day. Now we have a sense of breakage, abandonment here. Eight of Swords, it confuses you. You're confused. Page of Pentacles, the outcome. There's this sense of possibly opening up in some way. Not necessarily to this scenario, but just opening up in some way. Investment of some type. Let's see what happened. Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups. Perhaps you didn't trust that cup. But if that's true, why didn't you reject it from the very beginning? Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups. I'm trying to understand, honey. It's not judgment. I just want to understand. Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups. Nine of Cups, Three of Swords, Six of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. Oh. At the time, in some ways, that love opportunity resonated with you personally. Nine of Cups. Okay, it felt perhaps like low-key wish fulfillment. In some way, it pleased you, but it's also like it can hurt me too. Three of Swords. Okay, it can cause me heartbreak. So it's kind of like saying, being exposed to it, allowing myself to interact with it in some way, okay, felt good for me on the inside. But also I was terrified of getting hurt. I didn't want to go all in. I tried to balance with it. I did. Six of Pentacles, a little bit more on the surface. That's where anybody can see it, interact with it. Okay. It's a balance. I tried to keep it balanced. But the fact of the matter is I got personally involved at some point, and they did too. Nine of Cups and the Three of Swords, Six of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, here we were on guard. It's like you practiced your moves on the Ace of Cups. I see that. That could be love. That could be in love. I'm on it. Guard. You know, you're like Madonna with Vogue. You're striking a pose there. And it's like, I see that. But you didn't reject it. You didn't. And that's because some part of you was personally pleased by it. In some way you found pleasure in knowing that love was there or available. You kept your eye on it. You wanted to try it out, but you didn't want to get too involved because in there somewhere was this fear, a really strong fear of heartbreak for you, for them, or for the both of you. So we did this thing where it's like I'm trying to reduce my emotional pleasure from this and just try to keep it balanced, which again suggests you were still receiving something from it that was pleasurable. Otherwise, you could have just done without the balance. You know, guys, we do this thing sometimes as human beings where we try to compromise. I see something there, I feel the potential of it, but I'm not ready for it. I'm afraid of it to some extent, so we compromise ourselves. And I see that's kind of what you did here. Once more, it's not a judgment. I just want to understand, and I think I do. So this is either yours or it's not. Okay? I pushed on that a little further because I wanted to see the outcome of this dynamic. King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers. Well, turns out, yes, after time has passed, of course, hindsight is 2020. It's a strong connection. All right, it was a little bit more than a kind of complicated Six of Pentacles. It was a complicated, balanced. It was a little more than that. Okay, but we see that now. King of Pentacles. For somebody's part, you know, there's a wish there, and I wish I had invested more of myself in that. Okay. Well, you know what's good about this, though, Saggy honey, is that we understand what it is now, and that's good. That's a good thing. There's a reason why you didn't full-on block this. There's a reason why this touched your heart, but at the same time, it's like, no, it didn't. Like I said, if you really didn't want to be involved in this, if you didn't want to try to make space with it, if you didn't want to try to find room to balance with it, you could have rejected it immediately, but you didn't. Something about it called to you more than, you know what, I can just do without that. Okay? And now you know. I believe you both know, if that helps you, what this really was. Okay? Let's keep going. Five of Pentacles, present day. Five of Pentacles in that present day, please. Knights of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. It still confuses you. Don't get me wrong. You continue to move forward. Page of Swords, Two of Pentacles, but it still kind of confuses you. What the hell happened? And what else could I have done? I know you try not to think about it. I don't blame you. It's going to be an uncomfortable subject. And it's kind of like I still feel the loss of it. Now that I understand what it is, I kind of feel the loss of it, but nonetheless I am charged with moving forward. Yes, I understand. And you are. And I want you to move forward. I do. Okay? I would advise a little more healing on the subject. Okay? Yeah, a little more healing on the subject. Let's be glad for what it was. Okay? And that it happened at all. What were we supposed to learn from it? What were we supposed to take away from it? And why did you resonate with that person so strongly? Enough to try. You know, but why do you feel it happened? Why did you feel so connected to it? Why do you still feel connected to it? That's all. And I can see that it still lingers in you. It feels like it's a missing piece in your life. I understand. Ace of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, and you're still stuck with that feeling of what to do. Is there anything to do? Yeah, no, we ask ourselves these questions, which leads a little bit more to the healing, and then therefore a little bit more to the insight. Okay? But let's see what's on your mind there. Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles. I just want to help you unpack this because I can see it's been hard for you to do that. It's hard for you to look at this, right? Because it's a bit of a mind fuck. How you experienced it initially, what you understand it is today, and how did that happen? Why didn't I know what it was then? Because you didn't. You weren't prepared to know. But your heart was on guard to begin with. You weren't prepared to know. You weren't prepared to feel it. You suspected. You strongly suspected in some way. This spoke to you in some way. I believe in the heart. But again, if you weren't fully prepared to open up to it and accept it, that's why you didn't know. You weren't open to the full experience. And that's just where you were. You didn't show me why. That's just where you were. You can say it's them, fine. If it's in reverse, it's in reverse. I don't care. But I'm reading for you today, okay? Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles. I see that still very much with this Sagittarius. Ace of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. The Chariot, Three of Wands, Page of Wands. There's this feeling of perhaps one day I can open up to this again, and perhaps you're right, okay? That doesn't tell me too much. The Chariot, Three of Wands, Page of Wands. I mean, it's really straightforward. Perhaps I can move forward to this one day. Perhaps I can be open to this one day. And okay, but still, I would press upon you more insight, okay, more healing. And that's a perfectly valid feeling. It is. I don't want you to get lost to any thoughts of false hope. Not at all. I would never advocate that. But the Chariot suggests that strength of emotion still exists for you. And perhaps one day you can be open to this and free to move towards it. But again, I would feel better if I saw more healing through you. Okay. The High Priestess. Exactly. Intuitively, you know, honey. More healing will give you balance. This is something you need to go quiet on. This is just for you. Just for you. The High Priestess, Four of Swords, is very, very quiet. She or he does not speak. I'm not saying not to talk about it. I'm saying you need to go within and find balance for yourself. That's exactly what I've been advocating since right around here. When I see that you are moving forward deliberately, step by step, but you still struggle with it. Okay. The sharpest thing you showed me was the King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers. Upon hindsight, I understand what this is now. And the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, their whole gig is calling a good investment. I wish I had invested in this. Okay, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen. You tasted the love of this in some way. You took sips instead of gulps. But those sips were enough to kind of tell you, right? How this impacted you. But now we need healing to bring it all together. Okay? To bring it all together so that it makes sense to you. Better understand it. Again, what was the point of this connection in your life? What did it teach you? And so by all means, I understand the spirit of the thing. I do. Maybe one day I can move towards this and be open to it. But I would beg of you, the High Priestess, Four Swords, Justice, listen to yourself and find that balance, find the meaning right here. Okay? I strongly suspect you're intuitive. It's just hard to be in tune with that when we're walking around dazed and confused here. Okay? You know, I don't want you to look at this and say, well, that's a bummer of a reading. It's for those who need it. Okay? Somebody somewhere needed to see it or hear it. And that's it. That's why I'm here. You know, you've had your up readings as much as you've had your down readings, and somewhere in between. I would say this is somewhere in between because, mind you, I didn't see anything devastating. Death, the world, the tower. No. It's a kind of accepted, soft, difficult knowledge that you have. And I insist can be worked through. So in terms of spiritual homework, that ain't bad, you know? Exactly. We need new perspective. I agree. We do need new perspective on the whole thing. Again, questions at spiritual awakening. I'm telling you, forming structure. I see that you prize investment. I know. Solid foundation. The spiritual awakening about life path, what we invest in and why. What does it say about us? There's something about that love perhaps you did not trust, or you didn't think it was a worthy investment, but it spoke to you. It spoke to you personally. Perhaps then it was worthy of your investment. I see that. A new perspective. What does it mean to invest? What does it mean to thrive? What does it mean to be responsible? How am I honoring myself? How do I perceive worthiness? And how does that dictate my investment? See what I'm saying? Perhaps you thought it was a good-looking cup, but maybe you didn't think it was the right investment at that time. Did it speak to you? Spying, watching, inspecting, I don't know, I don't care. I could see that here in the Page of Swords. And sometimes I care, but it's in that respect of, you should probably know, or it's difficult, or it's the obsessive kind, or it's small thinking. No, it's just, you don't know how else to see it. And that's why I'm pushing on you new perspective and healing and insight on this one. But sure, does a wandering eye happen? You to them, they to you? Oh, certainly. Oh, I'm sure. The thing is, it's like I said, I'm not saying anything here that's horrible or terrifying or disgusting or possessive or gross, like we would say with the devil. It's when you're kind of wandering around like that, you're gonna look around. Like, give me some fucking direction. I'm dazed and confused. I'm looking. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying here. It's not obtrusive. It's not obnoxious. It's just there. Okay? It's just there. But, yeah. Okay. Saggy, honey. It's okay. You don't like this one? Check your other placements. Don't worry about it. And listen, if they're an asshole, they're an asshole. I wouldn't be saying any of this. You'd be showing me they're an asshole. I know you. You wouldn't have any problem telling me that. You and Aries can be terribly blunt. Well, you're not the only ones. But, yeah, I don't get the asshole vibe here. I think this was definitely a connection that we didn't understand how intensely it ran when we were connecting to it. We didn't want to know. Remember that? 7 Wands, Ace of Cups. You wanted to see it, you wanted to interact with it, but I don't think you wanted to know. Otherwise, you would have opened up to it. You even told me, yes, in some ways, it personally pleases me, but I'm terrified of heartbreak, so I try to keep it cool. Okay? No. Anyway, I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think they're a bad person. I think the situation will make more sense to you when you allow yourself permission to look at it. Okay? MR. I know that's the abbreviation for Mr. What, is that tied to someone's memory? Hey, Mr. Mr. Hey, Mr. Oh. Did we like that? Did they like that? Somebody liked that, Mister. I'll tell you what's up, Mister. Mister. Somebody like that? It was cute. It was playful. We have the Madonna here of Libra, Capricorn. Oh, you might have these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connected to. The seasons might be important to you. We have the great owl, the wise owl. Okay, seeing things for what they are. Big eyes, observations, logic, rationality, reasoning. The wolf, the lone wolf. Positive, survivor. Okay, skilled hunter. Protective. Negative, territorial, feeling lonely, crying at the moon, something like that. Which is up to you. Pegasus in reverse. We don't feel like we have the freedom to fly. Oh, not yet. No, not yet. We understand we have more of a freedom to fly when we understand we have a freedom to choose. And that's going to require us sorting through our thoughts to make sense of things. And then we have the dog tag that says protected. So, you're protected. All right, through this journey, through this process. Saggy, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, what's up? Show me Aries, please. What's going on? Yeah. Okay. Past, the Chariot, rising, Ace of Wands, present day, Ten of Swords. Before you, Six of Cups, outcome is the Knights of Pentacles. Okay. Man, in the past. Okay, how far back, that's up to you. There was a rush here, an absolute rush of energies. Inspired, turned on, swift movement from the heart. That's quite powerful that the Chariot is. Forward, move it forward. Yes. What a rush. And then Ten of Swords, boom, present day. We feel a little differently. Pain, hurt, disappointment. Okay. Before you, Six of Cups, Knights of Pentacles. Yeah, that's a different speed altogether. But it seems to be quite comforting. Okay. Knight of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Some sort of soul bond here. You're familiar with them. It shows up and you find it peaceful, calm, comforting. Okay. What's going on? The Chariot, Ace of Wands. Show me. What a rush, though. Wow. You know what adrenaline rush is? That would be it. The Chariot and the Ace of Wands. That sense that something's happening and it's inspiring. And it's intense. What's going on? Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. That looks lovely. I can see why you rushed towards it. It felt right. It felt really right. Emotionally, it felt very right. And even in the 3D, it's like we are so alike, this person and I. It felt natural. I can't stress this enough. Natural to connect and invest in this person in some way. I see a rush of emotion from you towards them. It just felt right. It felt very right. Now, you two are soul bonded. Yes, of course. It just felt so natural to you to invest in it and the connection. You didn't even think twice. It's like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I'll connect to them. Very natural to you. Very natural connection for you. Organic. It's like you knew who they were to you immediately. Someone precious, unique. That you have perhaps some sort of history with. But your energy rushes towards them. Like it was new. Like it was fresh. You find them very inspiring. But it's interesting because there's so much simple balance there. Or at least as you perceived it. What else? Such a natural affection for this person. Oh, the World. Seven of Wands, Two of Swords, but ultimately it was closed out, and this has already happened, so this is not a shock for the Aries I'm looking at. The world is in the past. At some point, a decision was made to cycle this out, either you, them, or perhaps the both of you. I am seeing it as coming from you, and I'll tell you why. There was confusion here about the limitations. Okay. Confusion, a lot of confusion about the limitations. Two of Swords, Seven of Wands, the world. You received contradicting information. It feels so natural to be connected to you. And yet at the same time, there's blockage. There's confusion around the purpose and meaning between us. Again, just to be clear, you're like, it feels extremely natural to be connected to you. You're a soul bond to me. I rush towards you in energy with a kind of open-heartedness and an open passion that feels natural to me, maybe to us. But there's too much confusion about boundaries, structure, meaning, and purpose. It sucks. That's wild. That's bizarre. Because it's like one of the most natural feeling connections of your life. And you had to close it down. I believe it was you. You found it confusing. And mixed results. Oh my goodness, but you really did care for this, love this person, this connection authentically. Again, you didn't even question it when it showed up, or it seemed like the most natural thing in the world to invest in this, but apparently there was a lot of limitations around it to the point of confusion. Okay. I believe there's a lot of confusion about what the other person wanted. Ten of Swords, present day. You still feel the pain of it. Regardless of who prompted the cycle, that's not the point. Pain is pain. You can close the cycle today, tomorrow. It's going to hurt. King of Cups, King of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Oh, look at that. So you have not been idle. No, you have not been idle. Not at all. You have not been idle. No, no, no. Oh, no. You're saying pain is part of love. That's so huge of you. That makes me so happy to see that. I could explain that to somebody until I'm absolutely blue in the face, but until you live it, you won't understand it. You're absolutely right. Pain is part of love. You're saying I have a huge heart, and you do. King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. You're saying you're a natural feeler, that you tend to be very expressive, but you also have a strong mind. King of Swords. You're like, I know what I got into. I know how it hurt. I know how I was impacted by it. I know I love them dearly. My mind knows it. My heart knows it. I'm not stupid. You're like, I know. And it's like, that's the journey of love. That's the journey of love. So it was painful to you. Yeah, you have such a swift. I mean, looking at you, the Chariot, Ace of Wands is like you were psyched up to go see your favorite band at that particular venue on that particular day with that particular person. You see what I'm saying? Like you were just all for it. It's like all your favorite elements fell into place with this person. Boom, 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 boom. Deep connection, unique person, someone who feels like you in some way, just that kind of understanding about your two's bond. You had a real rush towards them, passion and natural emotion. And you said it was the most natural thing in the world for you to invest in that connection. You didn't even question it. However, you did question the results. There seems to be mixed confusion around standards, boundaries, meaning what did they want. Because to you kind of made it clear, I'd like to invest in you, I'd like to invest in us. And keep it going in some way. Yeah. But that clear kind of vision, clear investment, or clear feeling was not returned to you. Any of those things, all of those things. You didn't, it's like, what do I do with this? The Ten of Swords is in present day. It's a pain that you've not just learned to live with, but work through, and you came out the other side. It's like in my heart, is saying, I'm real talk, and I respect you so much for this. It makes me happy to see that for you. I'm glad it happened. You know, because it may not have. I know how it was special to me. And I love them. I acknowledge that. And you still have a soft spot in your heart. The areas I'm looking at, you know that. You know it. It's like I will always love them in some way, and you're right. But you took the hit. You took the hit. You said, I took the hit in love. I did. However else you perceive it, that's up to you. If you feel foolish about that or proud of yourself, I don't know. You're saying I took the hit for love, and that was a worthy hit. So, but yeah, it's like even though there's pain there, I'll work through it. And guess what? My heart's still big, bold, beautiful. I'm still a deep feeler. I still express myself. My mind is as sharp on the subject as it ever was. I took a hit in love. So, Six of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. You know, and your heart still beats for them in its own way. Perhaps not as loud and as erratic and as passionate as it used to. But in your own way, you acknowledge it still. You're not threatened by it. It doesn't hurt you. Not like that. Ten of Swords is like parting is such sweet sorrow. Yeah. Kind of like that. Life is a bittersweet symphony. Mm-hmm. Six of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, well, like I said, the connection still seems to be here in future. Knight of Pentacles. A little slower. What's going on? It does seem to feel supportive. It still feels connected. What's going on? Three of Swords. Three of Cups. The Star. Oh. Well, shit. It's not that it's bad. And the areas I'm looking at, you wouldn't be threatened by it anyway. You're at peace in your heart over the subject. It's kind of like I took a hit in love, and that's someone who is very mature, can see that and understand it and feel it and not feel ashamed by it, etc., as we discussed. No, you're at peace with it. You've made a lot of progress. Over here, Six of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Okay. So that connection's showing up again. And like I said, it's not threatening. Three of Swords, Three of Cups, the Star. It's someone's deepest wish to reconnect to this, even though it might hurt. You know. But yeah, that's a beautiful desire right there. Okay, the Star. Three of Swords, Three of Cups. It looks gentle to me. Okay, it's not rushing in there. It took its time to show up. As that's my deepest wish to reconnect. That's going to be different for everybody. That's between two people, if it happens. Okay. I don't know. It could be as simple as I just wanted to see you again. I don't know. But it's sincere. It's really sincere, and I respect that. So, okay. Anything else, please? Anything else, please? Five of Cups. I understand that there's remorse there. I understand. Remorse, loss, regret, pain of the past. Two of Pentacles. What to do about it. Four of Swords. To just heal. Okay. So at this time, it's my deepest wish to heal, and I see that twice. It's done in a large scale way, as indicated by the Star, and it's also in a small scale way in terms of a little bit more intimate in the upfront. Five of Cups, Two of Pentacles. I'm not saying a relationship has to come out of this. I'm saying between you and I. So high hope and down to earth between you and I. So Five of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. So yeah, we have the large scale and the small scale. So that's good. Again, it's sincere. And there's a lot of sadness in there, a lot of regret. Okay. The Aries, I'm looking at once more, you're at peace in the subject, and at the end of the day, you're glad it happened. It's kind of like it was a testament to you about how much you can love despite the odds, the difficulty, the pain, or the ending. It's like you don't regret it. You don't take that back. So here at the King of Cups, it's very clamming. It's like no takesy backsies. I know what I felt. And you still have that soft spot to this day. You can still feel it. Like I said, you don't rush towards them anymore. No. But that didn't change your heart. You're a loyalist. I see that. You're a loyalist. You may not be in love with them anymore. But you understand that you don't hate them either. Like I said, you still have a loving spot for them. Okay. So what went down between you? It's hard to see, except the return confused you. What? To you, it made sense. Like I said, it would seem like the most natural thing in the world for you to show up and invest in this, but the return confused you considerably. New friendship possibly can be forged out of this. Anything's a possibility. That's if these two people choose to. Divine timing. Oh, okay, there it is. There's that end of a cycle. Okay. So, at some point, perhaps on the timeline in the past then, as I'm seeing this, we were a little too preoccupied in labeling this as a friendship, and it never got out of that dynamic, or there was confusion about what that meant. We're friends, but there's more to it than that, and we both know it. So it either needed to proceed as a friendship and be just straight up friendship, or it needed to be the other thing. And there was confusion around that. Okay. Well, what do you want? You know that scene from, what is it, Notebook? I think I've seen it once, because I find the book as well as the movie incredibly irritating. I tried. I tried to be a fan. I don't, whatever's put on display there, I don't particularly find it attractive in written word or on TV, but I did give it a darn good shot. And there's one scene, though, that is very realistic. What do you want? It's like, it's not that simple. What do you want? It's not like that. What do you want? I might have given that 3 times and then I'm out, because I can't. You can only ask somebody so many times. What do you want? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? And you get neutral or non-results. What are you supposed to do with that? Okay. So again, whatever that was, when we tried to forge it or reforge it as a friendship, and we couldn't figure out what the boundaries were or what the other person wanted. Yeah. But there's that. Trust. Divine timing. Judgments at play here for balance. Okay. Proper balance and divine timing. I trust in that. We are in Libra season, on the precipice of Scorpio season, about a week or so. So it could be, relatively soon. For some of you, yes. Okay. But yeah, the balance that needs to happen. Okay. The real balance, the appropriate balance, later. And you're a big Aries, you can figure it out. Okay. Like I said, the Aries I'm looking at, you're not threatened by it. No. I see what's here, not what isn't. That means 2 people said yes. K, G, M. We have the medallion of Capricorn and big dollar bills, some earth energy here, particularly Capricorn, but Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And a sense of investment here is pressing on this in some way, possibly. Okay. Aries, honey, I hope this helped you. I do. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, what's up? Show me Aquarius, please. Show me Aquarius. Okay. Past. Knight of Pentacles, rising into the Nine of Wands. Present day, the High Priestess. Before you, the Four of Pentacles. The outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. Hold tight. I mean, I'm not telling you, you're telling me what's up with you, okay? You're a big Aquarius, so you can make your own decisions. But yeah, you're telling me I'm holding tight, okay? I'm not going nowhere. Knight of Pentacles in the past. You know, when that happened is up to you, okay? Short-term past, long-term past, but you would know. Knight of Pentacles, you're saying you set out on a particular pathway and you took your time with it. Okay. You were slow, you were patient, you were methodical, and you changed as you needed to change, you shifted as you needed to shift. And that's one of the advantages of the Knight of Pentacles and going slow, is that you can kind of see the path you're on and make adjustments accordingly. However, you hit lots of rough patches. 9 of Wands. You found it very frustrating. But nevertheless, you persisted. Like, I will not deviate from this path. I'll make adjustments, but I'm not getting off this path. You can't make me. And you were adamant. I'm going to stay this course. I don't care. Okay. The High Priestess is with you in present day. You just have a feeling. You just have a feeling that you need to continue on. To be clear, you're showing me a lot of stubbornness. But it's not without reason. You honestly feel that this is your path to stay on. Like, you can't be forced off it. You won't be ejected from it. You won't let it go. By all rights, I'm seeing something that's related to work, I believe. Career. Okay, you're showing me a lot of coin and a dedication to that path that dictates that coin. Because it also entails your own sense of stability and purpose and motivation. Okay? So you just have this feeling that you need to stick to it. It's not the easiest of paths at all. But you won't be put off it either. And 4 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to get this thing back on track. You just kind of know it. And you know it. Others might call you stubborn, Aquarius, whatever this is. It's too heavy, it's too intense, it's too laborsome, it's too tiresome. And you're like, yeah, I know. And yet here I am. I'm going to keep showing up every day doing this thing. Okay? And, yeah, you weren't wrong. Okay. It looks like the productive value goes up right there towards the end. Okay? You held on to this. Continued to put your work into it. Knight of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. It is not easy. You might even call this a labor of love, this path. The Star, you, Ace of Swords, Justice. You're saying you know this is for you. You know it's for you. It's just not easy. You're right, it's not. You're absolutely right. The Star, Ace of Swords, Justice. You might be double, triple, quad air. You're showing me yourself, of course, and then some Libra. Doesn't have to be, but just FYI. You're saying you know this is for you. This is your path. You chose it. You know, you knew from the beginning it wouldn't be easy. You're saying it's not for everybody else. It's for me. So you can go ahead and call me stubborn, but it's my dream. Again, you're not wrong. And you're right. When we're talking about dreams of that scale, that magnitude, yeah, it's not going to be easy. And you're right, you have to be willing to adjust as you go along, but stick to the path. The Star, Ace of Swords, Justice, you know what you know. You're saying it's my vision. You're showing me, I don't want to say possessiveness around that knowledge, but claimancy of it. With you, the self, the Star, Ace of Swords. This is what I know. This is what I know to be true. This is my balance. This is my form of, spiritual justice for myself. This is my calling. I wouldn't expect anyone else to understand. It's just for me. And reaching for the star is no easy thing. I'm sure you've heard me say it before, but I'll say it again. The star is a far-reaching vision. Unlike the sun, you can walk outside your front door and just feel the sun on your face. Know that you're happy. The star demands that you reach for it. And by golly, you're going to reach for that star. And so you have been. And you will continue to do. Okay? Once more, I'm not telling you what to do. You're telling me what you're doing. You, through your will alone, you told me what you're doing. But yeah, that pathway. By golly, you're determined. It's kind of like you're saying, I know it will make sense later. I think you're right. Perhaps you're right. It will make sense later. It makes sense to you now. All the work you put into it to reach for it, that will make sense later. Okay. You are showing me a devotion to your mind, your will, your spirit, and your vision. All right. I don't have any further questions, Your Honor. That's really straightforward for me at this point. The High Priestess, your intuition in present day. Show me that High Priestess, please. Okay. Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess for the High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you are not wrong. Yeah. Your intuition's saying, stick to it. This is going to lead to something bigger. Again, it's something you understand, you intellectually understand, and intuitively you know. Wow. I don't think you're going to have too many peers on this one. Peers, someone who understands what you're trying to do. It seems to me whatever it is you're trying to accomplish is terribly unique. It requires a sort of forceful will and mind. All the things you're known for. And like most fixed signs, they can be very stubborn. But in this context, you're making your stubbornness work for you. It's like, this is my dream. You showed me the High Priestess twice. So not only are you an intellectually tough cookie here, intuitively, you're pretty sharp too, which is great. Ideally, people show me a combination of the intelligent self and the intuitive self. They should not be mutually exclusive. For you, it isn't. A lot of people struggle. They always think it's one or the other. It's both. It should be both. You know what you know. You feel what you feel. And Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, you can feel how this balance, whatever it is you're doing, no matter how rough it gets, it's leading to something greater. So you're committed to this. You keep doing it. You keep doing it season after season, year after year. Well done. Gosh, your intuition's just like so with you right now in present day. This is leading up to something. This is leading up to something. And it is. Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, all that experience, all that insistence, that persistence in shaping your dream. Okay? Again, I have every reason to believe at this point. Work. Career. For those of you who have just really wanting a career reading, this one's it. I don't deny it when they show up. I just don't go out of my way to read them in depth anymore. Yeah, but when it shows up, it shows up. It's what's here. I love it. I love it. But once more, just like your opening, if you need to shift or make adjustments, please be open to that. Okay? I respect the fact that you are staying the course, and I don't disagree with you. This is yours alone to endeavor upon, to put your work into, to put your spirit into. But just know when you need to make adjustments, yeah? Okay? But yes, good job. This is paying off. Eight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Putting work into it. I'm curious, are you doing this solo? Is somebody with you? Perhaps you will show me. Oh, Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. See, I know it's rough as hell, but damn, you will not be put off this thing. You're glad that you kept yourself open to it in the end. Okay? It's not always agreeable. There's a lot of deviations, and it seems surrounding voices. People who don't always agree with what you do or how you do it. Clearly, you seem to be a solo figure. Even if you're with somebody intimately, you're showing me when it comes to the pathway, I'm a solo figure. However, there's a lot of voices involved. So again, there's some outward disagreements here. And you're like, I don't care. I keep myself open to what works. So even though there's disagreement here about that path, how it's built into the consistency, or perhaps consistency is sometimes an issue. Okay, I grant it. Perhaps sometimes the income fluctuates. You don't care. You will not be put off this. You're saying this is taking me places. It's leading to things. That's why. Wow. I'm sorry. When we do something and we're really enforcing our will and our mind. We are making things happen. We're establishing roots. We're doing things our way. Not everyone is in agreement. But they're not the ones doing the work. They might want to be involved, and perhaps to some extent they help, and they're going to want to have an opinion. But at the end of the day, you're saying this is your path, therefore you got to call the shots. Okay? But you're determined to make this thing grow because you honestly feel it will lead to other opportunities. And it's something, these voices that might surround you from time to time, they don't understand. And that's okay. They don't need to. So long as you do. Okay? Sometimes it's people who are close to you. Yes. Okay. I don't know that I'm necessarily asking for anything. I'm just open-ended. Knight of Swords, the Hierophant, Temperance. Oh, yes. No, I already called your spiritual devotion. That's easy. So once more at the Hierophant, it's commitment. Yeah. Everything begins with the self. So right now you're showing me commitment to path. Your core beliefs around this subject are non-negotiable. You say you're committed to this. You find yourself in it time and again. And while it is not easy, you're also saying it's right for you. You're living up to that as best you can. I'm terribly curious. Your intuition's here twice about where this is taking you, despite sometimes the objections. I want to know when that might be paying off. But regardless, Knight of Swords, the Hierophant, Temperance, I see you committed to action. You're at peace with it. You're very much at peace with it. He said it took you time to get here, but you have a bigger outcome in mind. You want to build this thing as far as you can take it. You want to see what other opportunities might be available to you if you continue. You want to maximize every connection, every network. Grow, thrive, stabilize. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you definitely got a career read today. You can. You will. You will. There's so much growth potential attached to you. It's ridiculous. Not everybody gets along. Not everybody... I understand. I get that. I know I repeat myself, but it's just... Every time I've seen it, I've experienced it myself. Whenever we shoot for a star and we insist, this is for me, you wouldn't understand. Thank you for trying to give me your opinion, or this is what you would do, or it's not for you. But I understand that you have concerns, or you have objections, or you don't get it, you're not supposed to. It's my dream. It's my vision, so let me worry about me. Okay. You're very individual. Even though others might be involved, they're emphasizing you. Okay. But yeah. It's more than just your personal security. I hope you know that. And it's more than, I could say, oh, you just want things your way. That's kind of an easy call. That's more of the Emperor and the Devil. Sometimes even the King of Pentacles who refuses to be flexible. This is more like you're setting yourself to a standard for a vision that only you can see or understand. Okay? Be open to receive. Okay? Gifts, gestures. Oh, ghosted. Oh. Okay. Okay. Ghosted in reverse. That's interesting. Okay. 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 Well, somebody's presence just flew out in reverse. Is that one of the objectional voices? Okay. Somebody's presence. They wanted to help or give. But it's not in alignment with what you're trying to achieve, and perhaps you declined. And they're angry. It's like, well, if you don't want my help or etc., then I'll just fight with you until you do, raise a stink, or I'll absent myself. Well, okay, well, that happens. I think of it this way when I look at you. I think you're open to receive the right ideas. Okay? And the correct influences, and not everyone gets it, as we've discussed. I don't think that they meant any harm, but I do think that there was kind of a response, and you're rejecting or declining their offer to help or to assist or to contribute their time, energy, and effort and resources because it wasn't correct to the goal. Okay, that happens sometimes. But, again, at the end of the day, you stay the course. Okay, it's still your path. You're still building into it. When your intuition pays off about where this is going to take you, I don't know. That might be a little further out. But for now, continue on. You continue to see the progress. Okay? Oh, okay. LFPB, we have the medallions of Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart, could be connecting to, or the seasons might be important to you. We also have the tree of life, or the foundation, or the roots. Yeah, I know, as we discussed. You have visions of how this thing will branch out and also root out. Okay? I understand. This is not, okay, the wolf is in reverse. This wasn't about any sort of territorial pissings or being cruel or cunning or something like that, or stealthy. It had nothing to do with that. Okay? Okay. And then we have a little spatula. This could involve, your profession. If you're a cook, your profession, your hobby, I don't know. You really want to take it places? Hell, some of you could have invested in the restaurant industry for all I know. I don't know. Food industry, I should say. I don't know. The spatula's there. So FYI. Doesn't have to be, but it, or perhaps I caught you right now while you're cooking, in which case, hi, what you making? Okay, Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments, take care, be well. Gemini, what's up? Show me Gemini, please. What's going on? Strong truth, a little bit of openness there. Show me Gemini. Okay. Past. Queen of Pentacles. Rising into the Empress. Present day. 8 of Cups. What is going on with that 8 of Cups? Before you. King of Cups. Outcome is death. Oh my. This is going to be what you call one of the heavy reads. So for those of you who aren't in the mood, or you don't want to hear about it, or frankly just don't resonate, check your other placements. Okay. Yeah. No, there's more than one energy here. By that I mean you, more than you. Queen of Pentacles in the past win, that's up to you. But there's a sense of comfort here, investment, TLC, building a life with somebody. And the Empress rising. Yeah, you weren't alone. Okay. It looks like you built a world with somebody who was very important to you. And you two, at some point, more or less understood you were equals. Or, I guess you could say worth each other's while, or worth each other's investment. Okay. It seemed like a good match at the time. Similar values, similar points of view in terms of investment. What does that mean? And seeing the worth in each other. Okay. Rising into present day, 8 of Cups. Well, now you're showing me emotional detachment. Okay. Possibly having walked or walking now or in the process of it. Although, to be clear, I don't see that until a little further out. Okay. King of Cups is there. Yeah, you got mixed emotions on this. We can't deny that our feelings have changed. But also there's that sense of it's time to transform the heart. Trying to accept more of our emotional state where we find ourselves instead of clinging to the old way. Okay. Okay. Understanding, even painfully so, that sometimes the heart does change, feelings change. Not just for one person, but both people. That would be my first guess. Yeah. Okay. Let's get cracking. Queen of Pentacles, the Empress. What's going on? Okay, 4 Swords, 3 Cups, 2 of Wands. Oh, it seems so simple, didn't it? It seems so simple at first. There's this idea that you two have peace in each other's company. Seemed like a good fit. It really did. It doesn't seem like a lot, and I know it seems low level, but I think that's what attracted you two about each other. There's a sort of simplicity in your two's connection. A very strong thinking, but a simple thinking that we are more alike than we are different. We're compatible in small ways and in simple ways. There's something here about the simplicity that spoke to you two in the past. I get them. I so get them. They're so simple. They're so straightforward. No big drama. No, oh God, no. This is a straight shot. This is a straight shot investment. It really is, and we feel good in each other's company. You know, we're calm in each other's company. We're quiet. We reflect well on each other. We learn from each other. We heal when what else could you ask for? You know? It felt so easy, so simple. What else, please? There's something about that. You two attracted each other. Simplicity. They totally make sense to me. They're so straightforward. Whoever they are. And they felt very similarly towards you. Okay? What else, please? The conversation in particular between you and this person just seems so straightforward, not complex, not mysterious. It was very straight. It's like I knew what it's kind of like saying I knew what I was getting. They knew what they were getting. There's no misunderstanding there. It just fell into place. Easy peasy. No problem. King of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Okay. Okay. Don't get me wrong, there was some friction there that seemed to have developed over time. Somebody's energy here got a little edgier, a little more demanding, a little more restless. Over time, though, what used to be so easy and simple to connect to, free-flowing, very simple, started to become objectionable for at least one person. Like I said, there's always an edge in somebody's spirit and in their mind, a restlessness. It can be a little cold sometimes. And then if it's not a little cold, then it's a little heated, demanding. Okay. Walls started going up. It's like, oh, I don't need much. Two people went from, I don't need much, and I don't need much either. I'm super simple. Great, me too. Oh, you're chill, I'm chill. You can't out-chill me. That's how it was between you two. Like, not demanding, very straightforward. I get you, you get me. And then over time, walls started to come up. We got a little more defensive, a little more edgy there. Okay? Someone did. Stop being so chill and easy to understand. Friction developed, no matter how I look at it. Friction developed. Where one person started to get edgy, the other person started to get defensive. No, it turns out these two people are a little bit more complicated than they initially presented to each other. Okay? But again, I have to insist at the time to each other, you both seemed equal. You both had a strong sense of investment and what that means, and making good choices that are based on simple, everyday things, right? Okay. Eight of Cups. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups is hard. It's work. You consider it work. I'm back to you now. Okay, this is your collective reading, so it's not an accusation. I'm just reading the cards. Eight of Cups, we are emotionally absent from this, and you're telling me you're actually being very honest, which I appreciate. Ace of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. It is a job, Christina. It is a job. It is a job to keep my heart open to this, to keep it soft and expressive, to want to be vulnerable, to show romantic inclination, to show romantic desire. Is a job. It's hard. Shouldn't I be more present for this? Or you feel like you're treated that way. You feel like you're treated like a job. It's hard to show you the softness. Or you feel like it's hard for them to show you that softness and vulnerability and the simple expressions of love. Which the Knight of Cups, it's pretty simple. It's either there or it's not. Right? It's either felt in the heart or it isn't. That's it. And then to open up about it, to receive that attention or affection, for you to either give it, to receive it, perhaps a little bit of both. But you're saying, you know, you're a little burnt out. Okay. More than a little burnt out. When you associate opening up to be emotionally present for somebody or to receive someone else's attention, you start to associate it with work. That is a problem. Okay, that's a problem. It's one that can be addressed and it can be rectified. It just depends on the work that two people have put into it, and it has to be two. It can't just be one. All right, King of Cups and Death. Three of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. I'm not going to pursue this further. I don't need to. It speaks for itself. If you're new to tarot, even if you're new, there's a good chance you get it. And if you've been around tarot for ages and you just want confirmation, yeah, no, it's exactly what you think it is. Your heart space, the both of you have changed. And you're showing me not that it's that your feeling for them is dead, it's just clearly transformed. And that's what I see you making decisions on from that point forward. There's something about that that strikes a chord with you. Why does my loving you feel like work? Why is it when I'm supposed to get feeling from you, it feels like you're doing a job as well? Not so great. I can say that both sides are trying to do their part. I would say playing their part, because here we have action without the emotional conviction to back it up. So at that point, we're playing parts. Okay. We're trying to fulfill roles that we no longer personally identify with. And that's the biggest issue that we have with the Pentacles, say, versus feeling. We're doing something out of habit. Okay? Invested habit. Not necessarily because there's feeling attached to it. So, at this point, it's not really about doing the 3D work. It's about the emotional work that two people would need to do in order to get back onto a kind of same loving page. Okay. That doesn't seem to be the case, and that's okay. It's kind of like saying the heart's changed so much that there's no going back. And I think that's correct. I'm not telling you what to do. And this may not be you. Okay, but for the Gemini I'm looking at, it's like, oh no, the heart's changed too much. There's no going back. I think I can love this person as a friend. Or someone I had a history with. I'll always, you got a big heart here. You might have some very strong Scorpio in your chart. Okay? Or it could be that Scorpio season, which is upcoming, is really prominent for you. Okay? That is in the future context, yeah. But yeah, no, this has transformed so much. From we're totally compatible and chill. There are no secrets. I'm not a complicated, dramatic person. Neither are they, thank God, right? And while I think both of you are worthy individuals in and of your own right, for meaningful connections, good investments, empowerment connections, I don't know that you two are right for each other. There's something about that. It's not complicated. There's no tension. That also means there's no challenge. There's no challenge. That also means no challenge. There's no room for growth. When you grow with somebody, you have growing pains. I'm not saying you two didn't have tough times. I'm saying there's something about this that was not challenging. There was no friction. The friction came over time. Okay? It stopped being so easy. I wonder how well you two really knew each other. Or are you just determined to show how not complicated you were, how simple it was? I don't know. I don't know, but I do know this. Love shouldn't feel like work. It's not always easy, no. But it shouldn't feel like habit either. That you're just not ever in the mood for. I'm never in the mood for their love. They never seem to be in the mood for my love. That's not a mood, is it? No, it's not. Like I said, we're trying to maintain a role we don't feel attached to anymore. Okay. So yeah, no, it's King of Cups is here twice with Death, 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. The recognition here that this is transformed. Can't go backwards. I see them too much as a friend now. I feel them too much as a friend now, and likewise. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles is unfortunate, but this is where it is. Okay. Again, I'm not telling people what to do. It really causes me chafing when I see something like Death and the World and the 8 of Cups, and it's like, how dare you tell me I'm not, baby? I report. And just like the weatherman, equally subject to being wrong. It's predictions, but things are subject to change. I don't control the weather, baby. I just report it. Same is true here. I'm reading 1/12 of the collective. That's huge. This is for some of you, not all of you. The weather is always subject to change. Just like energy. Okay? But I have to agree. I don't disagree with it, no. Why would I continue to invest the best of my life, time, energy, effort, resources, if there's no love to back it up? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? This connection could now be summarized, say perhaps, in a birthday card or an annual Christmas card. Okay? I'm not about to devote my life to that, you know. So I don't disagree with it, no. I don't want you playing at a role that you personally have no emotional ties to anymore. Okay? That's me, though. A lot of people are like, you know what? It's about the security. I can live with this. So long as I know who I'm coming home to, and I know someone's there. And that's all that matters. The Pentacle could have just as easily taken over, but it didn't. I saw the emotional self take over. And says, I have some irrefutable facts here. Okay? And listen to your intuition. Yeah. Some people, you know, you being an air sign, your logical element could have stepped in and says, logically speaking, this, that, and the other. And this is what I have concluded. Still, your conclusion would have been your conclusion. It still is. So listen to your intuition. Yes, absolutely. And manifest appropriately. Know what you want, in other words. Okay? And so shall it be. We have ZK We have the medallions of Sag as well as Aries. You might have these very strong placements in your chart, could be connecting to their season, might be important to you. We have the crescent moon in reverse. So perhaps by the light of the next new moon, in other words, the absence of moonlight or illumination, you might have more to go on. Your next form of influence, something like that. And sign of peace, be at peace over this. No matter what you do, be at peace. Okay? Your choices should bring you peace, not discord. Okay? And then dog tag, keyword here being protected. You're protected in this. Okay? All right. Gemini honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, what's up? Show me Libra, please. Show me Libra. What's up? What's going on? Oh, of course, happy birthday. Let's see. Well, today for sure. And Sunday, I think we'll still be in your season. But regardless, happy birthday. So, for those of you who've already had a birthday, I hope it was fantastic. And for those of you who's still yet to be, may it be fantastic. What's up? Show me Libra, please. Past. The world. Well, at least you're laying it out for me. Rising, the High Priestess. Present day, Two of Wands. Yeah, before you, Knight of Pentacles. The outcome is Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Very, very simple, very straightforward. I would even say subtle today. But I imagine most of the complexity is back here. The world is in the past. When, that's up to you. That cycle you would know best. Recent, far away, it's up to you. But something here closed out. No other thoughts on that. Not yet. The High Priestess rising. You went into a space of listening to yourself, simply put. Allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition and see where it takes you. That's it. So far. There's a lot in there. Present day, Two of Wands. Trying to keep yourself in the present, literally. Two of Wands is probably one of the best cards in tarot to represent the present, the here and now. Also, keeping our thoughts, decision-making, and our communication in the present. So, just being present-minded. I say well done. Not many people show me that too much anymore. They're usually drifting around in space. And I'm not saying that you won't say that, but I see where you try to keep yourself up front, present, and accounted for. Before you, Knights of Pentacles. Could be you. Could be someone else. Don't know. But no rush. It's taking its time to arrive, whatever that is. So either you're maintaining your particular course, your pathway, whatever that is to you, or perhaps something's coming toward you, but still it's taking its time. And then the Nine of Cups is in the outcome. Some sort of pleasure, wish fulfillment, seeing to your own emotional needs. Okay? All right. The world. High Priestess. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. So, cycle happened. A door closed. And ever since then, you've spent some time listening to yourself. Navigating that world, the fallout of it, if there was any. What does it mean, learning from it? Just being quiet, though. You kept your thoughts to yourself, I believe. Trying to make sense of it intuitively. But also, of course, what next? Eight of Swords, confusion, Knight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. Well, that's a straight shot, but I'm going to go ahead and press it. What else, please? Two of Pentacles, more confusion. Ten of Wands, heaviness. Three of Pentacles. Okay, are we friends or what? That's it. Are we friends or what? Or are we more than friends, such as I'm seeing here? Because there seems to be romantic interest, but confusion that surrounds that romantic interest exponentially. Very, very unclear, very, very confused about what the hell was going on between these two people. Are we friends? Are we more than friends? I feel something towards you, or I have the impression that you feel something towards me. However, it's never fucking clear. I'm sorry. It's just, I see this I see this play out time and again. So eventually I'm going to hit that F-bomb. Okay, here we go. But to everybody who experienced it, it's completely unique to them. It's completely horrible, horrible, confusing, hellfire, pain and torture. And like I said, completely and utterly unique to the person who's experiencing it. But it does happen all the time. But when you're in it, you think it's just you. It's not. Yeah, so I don't mean to diminish it. It's just, I've seen this before. I'll see it again. Okay? Not necessarily for you, but for anybody who's ever been caught up in one of these bullshit dynamics. And it's hard, guys. It's hard because you meet someone, you could swear there's some feeling going on in there. And it's natural, too, with the Knight of Cups. That suggests it's natural for at least one person here. The inclination, that feeling towards love is something. But we're confused. We're not given any direction. You're showing me lack of direction. There is no direction. You never really know what they thought or felt. And there's this idea of a friendship, but it's really vague and it's muddy as hell. In other words, it wasn't a friendship. But you don't exactly know what it was either. And that's because it wasn't defined. So again, once more, mixed signals mean no. Always. Okay? It looks like you got mixed signals with somebody for a long time. The context, FYI, it doesn't have to be, but it is here, so I'm not going to ignore it. The context seems to have taken place around work. Okay? You would know it's in the past. So it either is or it isn't. But there was a strong sense of mutual interest here for a common cause. So again, we would call that work. Something where goals were supposed to be met. Objectives, this kind of thing. So most likely for some of you. Or it could be, like I said, a mutual sense, like perhaps project work was involved on both sides, regardless of a work environment. But still, it was confusing. Very confusing. Towards the end, it got very, very hard to continue or keep up with this pretense of friendship. You said you waited too long for this to make sense, specifically for this connection to make sense. Okay. It felt a certain way and it looked completely different. Yeah. But yeah, I keep floating this pretentious friendship. I know it's bullshit. But I don't want to keep participating in it either. I'm not that invested in the mystery anymore. With enough time, you stop becoming invested in the mystery. You're like, there is no mystery. Nothing's ever going to change in this, whatever this is. It's just going to stay the same, isn't it? There being something between us, and it doesn't progress. It's not a mystery, it's just bullshit. Okay. So we cycled that out. Intuitively, you felt it was the right thing to do, so I don't disagree with it. You would know best, honestly. But, intuitively felt, and also intuitively, by the way, you felt ultimately it was going nowhere. You had enough evidence. You just made good on the evidence. That's it. Okay? So keep that in mind. Intuitively, you're not wrong. There was an underlying emotion between you two. Intuitively, you had enough evidence here to suggest it wasn't going to change. Or that it would take a different shape or picture, So you cycled it. It was the reasonable thing to do. And you're not really showing me logic here so much as you can't beat reality, right? You can't beat reality. Mm-hmm. I know. Practically speaking, your intuition was correct. Okay? Now, let's fast forward. You've been listening to yourself ever since. Good. At best, leave that alone. Maybe it'll make sense later, but for now it didn't. Stop participating, in other words. You chose to stop participating. Yeah. At what point do you know when to stop? Are you getting the results you want? That's it. That's that simple. Is anything clearer to you today than it was, say, 10 days ago, 10 weeks ago, 10 months ago, 10 years ago? You got your answer. Okay. Two of Wands. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. You look great. Oh, you look great. You look great. And today, present day Libra, the one who had the nerve to listen to themselves and not push back on the evidence. You cycled this out. You've been listening to yourself ever since. You know where it finds you. You're happy. You're healthy. You're in the present. You're so grounded in the present. You're ready for love. You know you're ready for love. You acknowledge it. You're smiling. You're beaming. You're a person of individuation. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You don't have to be in love. You choose to be. And that's the best kind. When you know you're ready. You know you're ready. You want to make that investment. I'm not saying it'll be a straight shot for you. I'm not saying it'll be perfect or easy. What I'm saying is that you know you're ready. Okay? You feel it. You acknowledge it in the present. So again, I'm not telling you have to be in love. You know you're ready to be. As a person who can choose for themselves. As someone who can invest. Ace of Cups. Your heart space is ready. Okay? Good for you. You look great. You look so happy and healthy and competent too, P.S. Love it. Love it. I love it when someone can do for themselves. They live in the world that they created so meticulously, pentacle by pentacle. And that's why I say it's the garden of our own design. You arranged it accordingly. And you get to relax in style. So comfortable. Love it. Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, and then I see wish fulfillment for you. Slowly but surely. No rush here. When you're present and you go out of your way to be someone who is present, okay, you have an idea of what you're about and what you're doing. You don't need to rush anything. So I don't see you having kittens for the arrival of new love. It's like it's enough for you to know that you're ready for it, if it shows up. And that's lovely. Okay. Nevertheless, though, I still see wish fulfillment for you in some way. Let's see. What's going on? Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, Temperance. Yeah, there's a lot of fight in you that's soothed. You're not agitated. Do some of you have a history of impatience and agitation? Yeah, whatever that is, that's not a problem anymore. Oh, so you have taken a slower path. You're not so agitated like you used to be. You're not so out the door now. Actually, out the door 5 minutes ago, out the door yesterday. Why wasn't this done yesterday? I know, I'm very familiar with that feeling. I know. I'm a little go-getter too. But you're showing me that you have decided to slow down considerably. Again, be much more present. Stop focusing on the future. Just be someone who's more present. And I love that. That's a soothing thing. That's something that had to take time. Temperance. Okay. So that's lovely. So even though it might seem like you're going slow in the area of love, no, actually you're not. There's something about, I don't have to be so fast now, agitated now. I'm not so restless like I used to be. I'm not so impatient like I used to be. I've done some healing here. I've done some work on myself, and I'm enjoying a much slower pace these days. So no rush on that, love, Christina. But I have no doubt wish fulfillment in time. Yeah, I have no doubt. The way you have no doubt. I love this. Okay, but nevertheless, I see something on your path. So I'm happy you're not so restless. I'm happy you're not so agitated. I'm glad you're calm. You know, I love it. I know that feeling, guys. It's that same level of impatience, and I got to get it done that, you know, while it makes me very prepared, and I think you can relate, sometimes it can get you into trouble. It could wear you down, make you ill, stuff like that. It's nice to opt in for the slow lane sometimes. But for you, just being present's good. I love it. But anything else, please? The Sun. strength. And there they are. Yeah. There they are. It's like, don't tell me you're having a pleasant picnic in future. I mean, if you are, great. Enjoy your picnic. I love a good picnic. I don't get to do enough of it. But, you know, I'm sure you're having very pleasant days in the future. You're taking your time. But I was like, And that's where my impatience kicked back in. And again, as someone who you have chosen to watch tarot from, okay, I've been doing this a long time. That's why I called that as a straightforward shot, and that's why I pushed over here, because I just fucking know. I've been doing this a long time. I know when something's taken its time to arrive because you're in the position to appreciate it. Yeah, light bulb went off, didn't it? Yeah, that's one of the benefits to being present and more mindful and knowing your heart's fucking ready because you did the damn work. You can take your time. I want you to take your time. Don't rush that order. Dear universe, I want to see the waiter coming when they bring my dish. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know it's coming. You feel it. So I want you to enjoy it when it comes to your table. And it will. Fucking beautiful, by the way. The sun, strength, the lover. Now that's a strong one. Ooh. I'm almost envious. But then I remember Libra's in my Venus, so it could be me. The sun, strength, the lovers. Oh, yes. I don't know what that was. You'll be okay. Yes, you are. But it began with you. You made sure you were okay first, more than. Someone who knows themselves and knows their heart. Someone who learned to slow down. Don't always be in a rush. Heal thyself. Take your time. Good things are coming. And so it is. The sun's strength, the lover. That's a hell of a lover. It's a strong one, too. And that just means sexual strength. I'm alluding to that in a playful way. But it's not just sexual strength. That's there. But it's not just that. Someone who has pride that stands up correctly next to you. In other words, it's pulling like this towards them instead of pushing away. Because they know what happiness is and they don't want to fuck it up. So it says, this is mine now. And that includes you. Okay? Now you get your own choices too. You can go like this as well or push it away, but I don't see you pushing this away. No. You're enjoying it. Walk through the door. That is your life. Strong Leo energy, touch of Gemini. Doesn't have to be. I just wanted to point those things out. Or someone who is a very strong, proud lover. In other words, I know what this is. I'm not stupid. I'm all about this now. Now going back on that, none of that, are we friends or are we more than friends? No. There's no confusion in that one. This one is not confused. Not at all. No, will they, won't they over the work table or in the conference meeting. No, nope. This is, I will. We will. And it'll be fucking gorgeous. Yes. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Hats off to you. You and your person. Very nice. Your future person. Manifest. It was a matter of time. Trust the timing. Exactly. There you go. There you go. If you're going to manifest, know you're doing it. Claim it. And then second, don't rush it. The right one at the right time. Not whatever that mess is. And to be clear, I mean, I'm not trying to look. I've been in a mess like that once. That was enough for me. Thank you very much. And like you have to know when to call it quits. This will never be more than it is, and I see that now. And the feeling was there. But it wasn't until we accepted responsibility of it that we allowed ourselves to act on the feeling. Make sense? And destined, oh yes, the right one at the right time. Ooh, upper divinity shit. I love it. I love it. Love it. Okay. A, V, K, P. We have the medallions of Scorpio, as well as Sagittarius. You might have these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to. However, I strongly suspect, given that they are back to back, that's going to be your bracket. for either this period in your life, okay, when your heart's full and you're ready and you are yourself, and that extends outward from there, okay? So yeah, Scorpio Sag season. We have the palm hand, sign of Taurus. For some of you, might have some very strong Taurus in your chart as well. Could be connecting to. The season might be important to you, but also spiritual essence and or beliefs, your core beliefs, not to be devalued or taken lightly. We have the infinity loop. I'm sure. Yeah, the soul bond, a proper one. Okay, one that's meant to be in your life. Pegasus is in reverse. There's only one situation where that applies. Lack of choice. Again, once more, to choose would suggest you have wings. If you have wings, you have to acknowledge that you have wings. If you don't acknowledge that you have wings, you will never acknowledge your ability to fly, i.e. make choices. So, someone here is kind of insisting, I don't have wings. I'm not a magical creature. There is no choice here. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. Okay? Okay. And when we believe this, when we believe we don't have choice, we're saying we don't have wings. Okay. There you go. Then you don't get to fly. If you believe it, then it's true. All right, Libra honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, what's up? Show me Taurus, please. Show me Taurus. All right, past. Eight of Pentacles, rising into the Two of Wands, present day Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Before you, King of Cups, and the outcome is the Four of Wands. Somebody had a similar combination. I don't remember who. I really don't, but maybe a water sign. But anyway, this looks great. You look very healthy. You know, productive, happy, content. You know your place in the world, and you work on it every day. And that's not all. No. Love shows up. Four of Wands right there in the outcome, some sort of relationship. Yeah, but there's a really nice flow through here, and hopefully you see that for yourself. I'll clarify and I'll say this stuff. There's always stuff, but you look great. Like I said, happy, healthy, productive. And you are very acquainted with your part of the world. Eight of Pentacles in the past. At what point in the past is up to you, be it recent or old, but as it resonates. Working hard. The master of your craft. I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Yeah? You rose into the Two of Wands. Just trying to keep yourself present, goal-oriented. Okay? Just be present. That's all. Make decisions in the here and now as you experienced it. Okay? Queen of Pentacles, you've done well for yourself. Clearly you're comfortable. You know? You take good care of yourself. You know your worth. You know what your interests and your values are. Things like that. And that's what you invest in. It's a good call. I like it. And then before you, in future, King of Cups and Four of Wands, like I said, love shows up, it's present, and it arrives via the form of a relationship, which is two people define it. So, yeah, looks good. That's it. It looks good. It looks great. You look great. All right, Eight of Pentacles and Two of Wands in the past. Very nice. Very you. You're working hard. You have your goals laid out. You work on them every day. You make those decisions every day. Personal sense of self, security. Present and accounted for. Four of Pentacles. Oh, Three of Swords. Okay, Six of Swords. What happened? There's a lot of heartbreak in there that you've had to be willing to leave behind a little bit more every day. It wasn't easy for you, Four of Pentacles. You didn't just let it go. It was one of the many things you were working on, other than your actual literal coin, was that you were working on letting something go from your heart. A little more every day. You got better and better at it, but man, it was hard. That's what you call breakup energy, right? And it's really hard to let that go. And your method is correct. You have to learn to leave it behind a little more every day. Yes. Four of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Devil. Wow. Well, that makes sense then. Four of Wands, Queen of Wands, the Devil. You know, it might have been a very charged relationship. I'm sure that when it was exciting, it was very exciting. But when it was frustrating or angry, it was very frustrating or angry. So we have the Devil here, Queen of Wands, and the Four of Wands. Yeah, that relationship was defined. So once more, Four of Wands is a relationship, yes, as is defined by two people. And this one was defined with a lot of aggression. And when it was, I'm sure that when it was alive, you know, and on peak and on form, I'm sure it was very exciting, very charged up, and possibly very sexual. I'm sure. But that would turn in the negative too, wouldn't it? So when you two would fight, you would fight. And when the energy between you two was bad, it was outstandingly bad. A lot of tension in there. Lots of it. Anger. Yeah, but in many respects, it's showing up as an unhealthy relationship. So I don't know if it was marriage. I don't know if it was long-term companionship. I have no idea how you two defined it. I know how it ended. Okay. And it was feeling like very much in poor standing of each other. Probably thinking the worst of each other. And feeling the worst towards each other. In the end, it wasn't healthy. No. So, in your past, see, this is very you. I'm fine, I'm cool, I'm a chill Taurus. I'm just doing my thing. I show you. I clarify, then you show me a deeper version of you. So, in the past, I see that you focused on work, kept yourself present to those goals, and you've done well. I see that. And then on the inside, you were working on something a lot more private. Like I said, learning to leave this heartbreak behind a little more every day. And that is a little more every day. I know where that Four of Pentacles from you comes from. I get it. But I'm glad that you learned to let this go. The pain of it and the unresolved conflict. It might be resolved later in your life. But for now, or at least in the past, no. No. No, it was just enough to kind of, again, leave it behind a little more every day. And you have done. It's taking you a lot to disentangle yourself from that. Okay? That one had a strong negative hook in it, didn't it? I can see where that energy can get a little addicting, right? You get addicted to the drama. You get addicted to the fight. You get addicted to the sexual energy. Because I'm not saying the love. I'm saying we got hooked to that constant tension that was often running high between you two. Okay? All right. Queen of Pentacles, present day. Being, I imagine, a lot more mindful of your self-worth. Okay? A lot more. Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. You're being adamant about sticking to your truth. Good. Good. Right now you look a little isolating, and that's fine. I understand. You are very much preoccupied with me, myself, and I don't blame you for that. Not at all. As far as I can tell, you are just Showing me a lot of selectivity about yourself. Okay? And what it is you will and will not tolerate. Okay? Particularly when it comes to your emotional self. And your thoughts. And some things you will not bend on. Understand? I think what you're showing me here is just self-preservation. The only thing I would encourage you, obviously, you know, right, what my number one draft pick is here. I'm looking at you. What am I not saying? It starts with the letter H. Say it with me. Healing. And I know some of you just went, you know I was going to say it. You know I was going to say it, honey. Let's not pretend I wasn't. We know I was going to say it. Okay. I said it's going to be my number one draft pick in tarot. I see something like this for you. What do you think I'm going to encourage? What do you think my job is going to be? Yeah. I'm going to encourage you. Healing, please. Reflection, insight, you need it. I'm glad you have the truth and you're sticking to it. And you are emphasizing the self and you are adamant too. Very uncompromising here. 9 of Wands, 9 of Cups. Okay, it's a little bit of fuck you attitude. I get it. You're saying I'm being protective of myself. You are. And I want you to be. You should be. This is your home. This is your territory. This is your space you're talking about. Where you get to be you. I get it. I do. And I'm glad that you're concentrating on yourself, as one should. After something like this, you're damn right. But healing is part of taking care of you too. I want you to look at that. Okay? Eventually. I want you to look at it, learn from it, reflect on it, heal from it. You did the hardest part. You really did. Honey, this was the hardest part. Allowing yourself to let this go a little more every day. That was indeed the hardest part. Everything else after that is cleanup. I promise. The healing piece, why it's so important. I want you to unpack this. That way it won't happen again. The odds of it go way down. I bet you that relationship, whatever this is, I'm looking at it. I'm telling you, when it hit high notes that were pleasurable and exciting and enticing, and it just, oh my gosh. And I bet it hit hard in the other direction too. Am I right? It was devastating. It was crushing. It felt possessive and weird, right? And look at you. That's just not who you are. Look at who you are. This is who you are. This is Taurus right here. This is what you do. This is your thing. This is what you're good at. This is your skill. This is your jam. This is your job. You are very good at this. This high tension, high wire drama shit, the possessive shit, the fear stuff, the fear patterns that were keeping you in check in this relationship, that's not who you are. That's not who you are, but that's what you got a little hooked on. All the more reason. Okay? So while you're over here taking care of yourself and minding your business, and you be a little fucky offy all you want, I completely encourage that. Okay? Put up your do not disturb sign. And you did. You know what's best for you, yes, but that would also include some healing. That's all I'm saying. I hope you lean into that. That's all. You're so good at investment, you should know this. You will always be your most worthy investment. Okay? Always. If you don't invest in yourself, you're not going to be able to invest appropriately in other things. You should know this. You're Taurus. Okay? King of Cups. I'm just saying. I'm pointing out your pros. Okay? Turn that frown upside down. We're going to change the logic up, change the script. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm pointing out your pros. That's what I'm doing. I know you've forgotten your pros, honey. Your strengths as Taurus. You're getting caught up in your weaknesses. This is what I invested in. See what I did? Invest in your pros. Okay? King of Cups. 4 of Wands. Now, it's interesting. I'm seeing a relationship for you in the future. A little different, though. King of Cups there. What's going on here? The Chariot. Two of Wands, Page of Cups. Honey, let me tell you what. Choice. I emphasize choice. What are we as human beings without choice? We're nothing without it. There are things that are, in some respects, predestined for us, yes. We call it fate. We call it intervention. The universal helping hand. Okay, but for the most part, we have choice. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you. Something's showing up. It's a little different. It's a lot different. So this is the last relationship you had. The last one. So it's very specific. It's either you or it's not you. That's it. It's non-negotiable. You're gonna have another one. Guess what? Well, you could do. Like I said, choice. It's just there. I read what's here, not what isn't, and I see it there. You get to choose if you participate. That's another reason why I'm emphasizing healing for you. This one's gentle. It's kind. It's very loving. And you know, I gotta tell you, you may not be prepared for it. It might be arriving sooner than you expected, or had expected at all, if you had any expectations. Because I have to say, I saw I'm good on my own, thank you very fucking much, Taurus. Again, I don't blame you. I'd say that's a reasonable response to this. Honey, you just got yourself back in working order. I got you. I get it. Honestly, I'm glad that you are spending good time with you, getting your house in order, getting your mind in order, getting your emotions in order. Okay? You got some Nine of Wands, fine. I don't begrudge you for that. Not at all. It makes perfect sense to me. I get it. After all that, fuck that drama. So I'm just saying. I just want you to emphasize a little more healing, because you might want to take a look at this in future. See, I know you're not the biggest fan of love right now. I understand that. You might be in future. This one's soft and considerate. I was concerned because I get that high intensity drama. People get addicted to it. They think they could never let it go. Oh my God, this is everything. I'm either at the highest peaks of joy or I'm devastated here at the base. And people get addicted to that. This is not that. This is love. Okay, that was the missing component in this fuckery that we had here. And that's love, but rather one's motivation from a good, pure space that moves forward. Page of Cups, opening up. King of Cups, receptive heart. These are healthy, emotional relationship constructs, okay? Decisions before you to move forward to this and open up to it, to receive it or not. Okay? Anything else? It's going to be your choice, honey. It's going to be your choice. And if you want to say yes to this, and you really want to say yes to this from the heart, I want you to know it. That's all. I just want you to know it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay? I love all my collectives. Some of my collective are like children. Some are a little more hard-headed than others. That's called a hint. All right, anything else, please? Anything else, please? What's going on? No, but I have complete sympathy for what you went through. I understand. I do. But it weren't love, not from my point of view, honey. It looks like a little bit of drama that we got addicted to. A hook. A hook. Okay. Ten of Pentacles, the Hermit. I want you to have that peace. I want you to have that calm. This is what you do. This is what you do. Okay? I told you this is who you are. What is this? What is this bullshit? That's not who you are. No, it's not. You say it's not me. It's not me. That's not. This is you. Steadfastness, stoic. Okay. the responsible, the accountable, but more than that, the one who invests in themselves in the right and worthy ways. And whatever this is for you, 10 of Pentacles, the Hermit. Okay. Very healing, very stable. It's, in other words, the opposite of whatever the fuck that is. Healthy, stable, consistent, loving, supportive. Drama, tension. Yes, I'm sure there was some sexual chemistry there. I have no doubt. What else kept you in that game, baby? But also unstable. Stable, healthy, not stable, not healthy. And there's you. You're at the center of it all. You get to choose. You don't want this to happen again. Make different choices. The opposite. The healing part that I'm emphasizing is to know that you're worthy of this. That's the thing. If you don't think you're worthy of it, you won't accept it. That's all. Anything else, please? Spiritual awakening. The Venus offer. The Venus. Some of you, by the way, you are ruled by the planet Venus. Yes, I know. But some of you, Taurus might be your... Oh, is Taurus your Venus placement? Oh, you essential creature you are. I know you don't get that credit, but oh, you are. Oh, yeah. Is Taurus your Venus? Oh. You had a little spiritual for some of you. Oh, you caught me, honey. Sorry. No, very sensual, but there's a spiritual awakening here about love. Okay, and sensuality that also ties up to your sexuality for some of you, yes. And what is love versus very, say, perhaps intense, but ultimately bad chemistry. But yeah, so we had a spiritual awakening here. For some of you, yeah, Taurus is your Venus. Okay, be mindful of that. And for others of you, you have yet to meet your Venus. For some of you, Scorpio might be your Venus. But that's upcoming. It doesn't have to be. That's just what's there. Patience, the facade, false beliefs. Have patience. There we go. That's the healing I'm looking for. It's just a drop, but we'll take it. That's temperance. And the false beliefs. I know that you got caught up into some false beliefs here. It's easy to do when you get addicted to stuff. Okay. You built up some false beliefs. That's like the Five of Swords there. You told yourself whatever it is you told yourself to stay in that game. And what does that tell you? What does that tell everybody? If you're having to talk yourself into or out of anything, stop. Something's wrong. Patience. Healing. Okay? Okay. F, J. We have the peacock here. A bit of a show. That's okay. I don't care. I don't care where it's coming from. It could be coming from over here, in which case it's done and you don't need to worry about it anymore. There is a certain sense of flair, perhaps drama or sex appeal. And then it could be over here when I see the attraction value start to pick up naturally between you and somebody. But again, it's a choice to opt into that. But yeah, someone here could be a bit of a looker, a bit of a show, something like that. Someone who's bold or has bold colors. Okay. And then we have the wolf in reverse and upside down. We don't want to pursue this anymore or feel like we're being pursued. Fair. Ladybug in reverse. I get you. Right about here at your center when you're like, I don't have luck. I don't have luck in really. I know. It feels that way, but that's not true. Okay? When you recognize your own patterns, you'll stop falling for them. Do the opposite of what you've done in the past. Okay? And then you'll have more luck. But until then, until we kind of dial that in, think of it as a filtration system. You learn, even if you learn the hard way, what you don't want, and you can filter it out. But trace that back to its origin story. Where is that coming from? How did you get wrapped up into this and begin with? And man, you'll really get the ball rolling. Okay? But now you know what you don't want or participate in. By definition, you'll better understand what is right for you. Something that is lovely and emotionally present, as well as loyal and stable. Okay, that's enough of that. Taurus, honey, I hope this helps you. Right now I can kind of see that you're in your space of doing your own thing, and then it picks up seemingly out of the blue, I would say in maybe a month or so. Okay? All right. I hope this helps you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Virgo, what's up? Show me Virgo, please. What's going on? Show me Virgo. Okay. What's going on? Past. Seven of Swords, rising into the Queen of Cups. Present day, Knight of Wands. Okay. Before you, the Empress, the Emperor, and the outcome. Hey, that's a pretty good story. That's a pretty darn good story. It's interesting how it started out with uncertainty, self-doubt, I'm not sure. Then it gradually rose into more of a natural feeling of expression and openness to the experience. And then it's like, okay, we're together. What? The Emperor and Empress. Wow. That's great. The power couple in tarot. Each other's equals. They found each other at last. Lovely. Very lovely. Okay. But interestingly, it opens up with some self-doubt. Hesitation, I don't know. Specifically, I don't know about the heart space there. I don't know if I can open up. I don't know if I can be vulnerable. I don't know. Will the feelings be there? Will they be true? Will they be authentic? Will it be returned to me? A lot of doubt and uncertainty, like I said, involving the heart space. And it's like you switch gears. It's Knight of Wands. You just allowed the feeling to take over. This is what's natural to me. This is what's flowing within me. This is what I naturally feel. Okay. And then it leads to something quite solid. It's beautiful. Well done. All right. We're going to go ahead and join those up. Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups. It's in the past. The heart space wasn't always so certain, So convinced, particularly though, can I open up? Can I open up? Should I open up? Am I available to open up? I don't know. Is this love that I'm feeling? I love 80s music, largely because it had this big component of emotional drama. It wasn't just big hair. No. It was big emotional drama. You will never hear anything like that ever again. I don't know. No, not at all. Not at all. That was a heck of a decade for music. It wasn't just big hair, honey. It was big declarations, huge feelings, for the most part. Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups. All right. Six of Cups. Oh, Nine of Swords. There's that stress. Ace of Cups. Goodness me, there was so much love there already. So much love there already that existed. Yeah, we know this person. Six of Cups. Yeah, go way back, eh? Nine of Swords. Ace of Cups. There's something about the connection in the past and how emotionally confrontational it was. I would say provoking. Yeah, that might be a better word there. It was emotionally provoking. Here's someone of the past, someone whom we're deeply bonded to, we have many a memory with. Okay? You two crossed each other's paths once, maybe twice. Some of you twice. I don't necessarily see any evidence of that. That's just the vibe I'm getting. And it's like, oh no. Here this connection is. It provokes a lot of feeling. The potential for love was there. It was always there. But there's so much fear of the mind. Nine of Swords, Seven of Swords. That can be very inhibiting and prohibiting. Hold us back, makes us doubt what we're feeling. And oh yes, the Seven of Swords and Nine of Swords can wreak a lot of havoc. And yet, the heart was so certain here. Somebody put their heart on the line, I believe. Ace of Cups is here. There's known comfort in these emotions. Because we know that person. We have memories with them. So even if the love language wasn't expressed, it was still felt. Okay. And somebody put their heart on the line in the past, I believe. Like I said, it was very provoking. But to be clear, it seems like it was felt by two. but might have been owned by one. Okay. At least one person had so much fears of the mind it couldn't escape. Wouldn't be allowed out. Okay. Anything else, please? Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and thus caused the discord. Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, walls went up, boundaries went up, deflection, get away from me, fuck off, all that stuff. So, because these two hearts wouldn't line up in peace, you know, and express themselves to each other, I believe one person did. Naturally, we pushed away, the both of you pushed away. Okay. It's like if we can't naturally express what we feel, what happens is confusion and anger takes over. Okay. And in that space where we can sync up or fall apart, you know, chaos is born. So Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, deflection, anger, frustration, breakage, fuck off, you know. Which can happen if two people feel the love, but if one or both aren't ready to accept it or exchange it, yeah, there's going to be a push away element. Anger, frustration, denial. Okay. Defenses went up, walls went up. And that's in the past. We wanted to keep it, but didn't know how to hold on. It was very frustrating. Very frustrating. And that's in the past. How long ago? That's up to you. You would know. That could have been recent past, like yesterday. Could have been years ago. I'm saying elements to time that suggest it wasn't exactly fresh, but, you know. Soul bones being what they are, they have a tendency to drift in and out of the timeline, you know. So I don't know. But I strongly suspect for that one I'm looking at, this wasn't the first time we had broken apart. Knights of Wands is in the present day. Ow. Dang, I'll tell you what. I think I need to get worked over. That's what I think. I need a masseuse. I need someone to get in there, because I tell you what. Oh, those muscles. I can get locked up. All right, Knights of Wands. Let's see that Knight of Wands, please. Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Devil. Wow. Okay, we have a rising passion in someone here in present day. I'm going to default to you because it is your reading. Once more, just to point out the obvious, I'm not picking on you. I just read what's here. Okay? Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, the Devil. Someone has a rising passion, but here's the thing. They don't run away with it. You don't look like you're running away with it. On the contrary, you're looking at it. You're examining it. This rising passion I have in me, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it just lust? Or is it actually trying to tell me something? And what do I do with it? So you're not rushing in there. You're not showing me any levels of impulsivity at all. None. I'm looking at this conscientiously. I'm looking at myself. This rising passion, what I'm feeling here, is it natural? Yes. Is it bad? And that's what this person, I believe is you, is struggling with. What I naturally feel, is it bad? I don't think so, but that's up to you. That's something you have to conclude for yourself. I think what you're showing me is intensity of feeling that can be misconstrued as bad, yes. Because I'll tell you why. If it was that bad, you'd be acting on it. Okay? But you're showing me, no. Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I don't just go throwing my Knight of Wands around. Okay? I'm intentionally holding it back, so that is deliberate. So is your sexual energy present here? Yes. Are you running away with it? Are you allowing yourself to run away with it? No, not at all. I think what you're showing me is build-up, a certain intensity here. And what does it mean to you? Where is it taking you? And is it just passion? Based on what I've seen for you in the past, no, honey, there was a lot of love here. Actually, that's what was born first between you two, was love. But at least one person here didn't feel safe to express it, explore it, act upon it. And thus, walls, anger, frustration, fuck you, all that stuff was there. Okay. And in present day, I see you looking at it from a very practical point of view. I'm still attracted to this. I would still journey forth to them. Is that bad? I think that's the intensity of the energy that might largely be unrequited. Okay. I'm not saying that you don't have moments of passion or lust or things like that, but I'm just saying your approach to it suggests you're not exactly what I would call a fuck around Freddy. Because if you were, you wouldn't be showing me the King of Pentacles or the Two of Pentacles. No, I think you are showing me intensity of unrequited emotion. It hasn't been resolved. Do you ever notice that sometimes it's passionate, sometimes it's angry? That's what that is. And the way you ground it and you don't act on it. Yeah. Okay. So that makes me suspect it's largely unrequited. Okay, that's present day. So you still have a certain intensity of feeling towards that person of the past, so... I think some of it is equal parts difficulty processing old emotions around anger, passion, frustration, investment theory, all that. No, but it was largely love back there. The fact that this person or the idea of them can still make your energy go there tells me a lot. You know. The Empress and the Empress, like I often say, you know, if you can just kind of masturbate something or someone out of your system, then it's no big deal, right? You're over it. This is still with you. So yeah, no, it's a little bit more than, you know. It's no big deal. I could give or take the attraction. No, I think it's a little more than that. The Emperor and Empress, Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands, elation, King of Swords, elation. Elation, joy, pure joy. Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands, King of Swords, it's pure joy, pure elation. I have two people showing up on the scene. The Emperor and Empress. Joy. Positive joy, radiating, just glowing joy. Between these two figures. And each other's counterpart. I'd like to see how that happens, though. It's difficult for me to see something like, okay, this is still in thought and theory, and we're floating it to, okay, now there's a future here all of a sudden, and two people are divinely connected as they were always supposed to be. I get real nervous when I see stuff like that. I would like to see the details. How did that bridge between I'm hanging back, I'm contemplating something, it's difficult, I have intense emotions wrapped up around this, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? To, okay, we're connected and everything's awesome. I'm very careful with things like that. Okay? This is one of the reasons why, absolute proof right here, why I prefer in-depth. And people are like, oh, everything just magically falls into place. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that sweet? Isn't that just fantastic? You know. But no, it involves in reality real work and somebody putting one foot in front of the other and doing something, and then somebody else has to respond, and there's communication, and there's investment, and etc. And as much as I want to hand people an absolute blueprint or a step-by-step instruction manual, such as we would expect from IKEA, unfortunately, this is tarot. So they kind of give me a vague overview because it's really up to you to how to live your life. Which I understand and respect that, but still, a little bit more information about logistics, kind of a fan there, that would be helpful. What's up? But that is pure joy. That is absolute pure joy. Oh, Ace of Wands. The Knights of Wands. Yeah, you're both very satisfied. That Knights of Wands, I'm not laughing at you, not at all. I told you, I kind of know, like I said, a fuck around Freddy when I see one. That's not you. Maybe that's something you identified with once upon a time, but not when it comes to this person. No. What you feel for them is actually quite natural. I saw it back here. It became unnatural when two people couldn't line up to what they were feeling. That's when we reject what is organic. When we reject what is organic, we cause ourselves problems, as we see. We saw that. We saw that with the temper flare. Walls went up. Defensiveness. Fuck off. break away, get away from me, when all there was underneath all that the whole time was love. So I saw you struggling to this day with a sense of passion. You're just like, well, what do I do with it? And P.S., it still kind of makes me angry. Yeah, it does. That's because of all this back here that, again, was not resolved. So you feel it intensely now. That's all I have for you in terms of your present, is that you feel this now, and the complexity of those emotions and the intensity of them and where they take you and how you struggle with it. And P.S., what the hell does that all mean exactly? So over here, that same Knight of Wands shows up in its purest form, in its highest form. This is what you were really feeling, I believe. Yeah, when it gets to express itself, it's a completely different story. When it gets to express itself and it's happy and it's positively engaged and it's feeling what it wants to feel and it's expressing what it wants to express, your Knight of Wands doesn't feel so bad. Your natural energy doesn't feel so bad. You are very turned on. You're feeling very sexy. You look sexy. You look very alive. Okay? It stops feeling all warped inside of you, the negativity. It stops feeling like that. And it takes its positive form. This is the Knight of Wands positive. It's pure joy. Okay? Absolute pure attraction with a loving component that is returned to you. Okay, this is how you want to express it. And I see two people elated. You, I'm sorry, you're coming across as that King of Swords. You look cool as a cucumber. Like, yeah, it was all part of the plan. And maybe, and this person, they can match that warmth, I'll tell you that. But this is what I'm taking away from this. It's like it's the equals. They're finally connected in the right way and at the right time. I would love to see how that happened. I just know it's part of the struggle that you might be experiencing now. This at some point does lead to resolve. So the step-by-step process, the manual you might be looking for, that's for you to discover, and it's taking place within you right now. As you, what feels like a giant struggle and perhaps a waste of time isn't. Something comes from this that allows you to generate the appropriate activity or something with that person. Okay? And it's gorgeous. It's so well received. They're a little firecracker. Your personal energy is a firecracker towards them. They themselves are quite lit. Talk about active. But yeah, this is someone who is naturally quite lit, vivacious, bright, charming, charismatic, turned on, or frankly just a very passionate individual. But what you feel for them is what they kind of naturally exude, which is lovely. All right. Oh, well, past, present, future, I admit, has a tendency to run 18 to 20 minutes. I try not to, honey, but it's out of my hands. And chaser in reverse. I'm not chasing here. No, it's not about chasing. It's about attracting. Okay? No chasing, attracting. Structure forming its solid foundation, rebuilding, possibly the friendship. I hate that because it really goes against my advice. It's just in the oracles, they're very quick, small bridges to a greater concept, and that's something I have to keep in mind because that's frustrating. I'm not telling you to be friends with this person. No, if anything, that will kill it. I'm saying right here with the forming, the structure, the solid foundation, start from the ground up. Okay? And no, I'm not saying it as a new person. I'm not. I see your energy finally getting to experience them without any bullshit in future. What flipped the switch for you both? I don't know. They lived part of their life without you. You did too. You both had things to learn, figure out. The love was there from the beginning. Allowing it to breathe and to fall into place, that was the biggest issue. It needed time. They had to do things on their own, so did you. And perhaps when it's time to connect or reconnect, it's formed from a place of not assuming anything about each other. Okay? But allowing the feelings to take place. But no chasing. We're attracting the appropriate. Okay. Autumn harvest, which we are currently in. Ooh, I was wondering. How long you'll be into this phase, I do not know. Oh, why? P, we have the medallions of you, Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, Scorpio twice. Like I think I said somewhere in the intro, yes, I'm seeing a lot of references to Scorpio season is the upcoming, and then also I tend to see that quite a bit towards the end of the year in the general sense. So, yeah, I mean, it's happening between now and upwards to Scorpio season. Yeah, absolutely. Again, you might have any strong placements in your chart. And also could be connecting to. We have the dog tag here with the keyword being protected. Yes, you are. In this, it's a protected journey, is what I'm taking from it. Virgo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Capricorn, please. What's going on? Show me Capricorn. All right, past. Queen of Cups. Rising, Seven of Wands. Present day, Five of Pentacles. Before you, Queen of Swords. Outcome is the Nine of Cups. Better. Okay, Queen of Cups in the past. How far back in the past? It's up to you. Recent, old, again, as it resonates. But Queen of Cups, lovely, beautiful, soft heart space. It was open. Okay, wanted to give love and receive love. Okay, soft, lovely, inviting, intuitive self there. And then Seven of Wands. You know, I could say you slammed the door shut on your heart. I don't feel like that's you. I honestly don't. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm the first person to be like, this is your collective reading. This is what I'm saying. Own up. This is what's going on. Okay, it's either yours or it's not. But it just doesn't feel like it's you. I feel that you had your heart open in the past and someone showed you Seven of Wands, defensiveness, guarded. It's like I'm not as open to the experience as you. That's what it looks like to me. But, you know, as it resonates, by all rights, I could say, well, you had your heart open and then you shut it down. I just don't think it's you. As it resonates. Five of Pentacles in present day. Yep. Okay. That wall went up. I think what you opened up to did not return to you. And it caused breakage, as one might expect. Five of Pentacles. Short-term break, long-term break. But obviously feeling abandoned. It's like, oh, I'm out here hanging out by myself and my feelings. That's cool. That doesn't hurt. So I'm alone in this. Okay. Which stands to reason. If you show something or somebody love and they're like, thanks. We're just friends. Or thanks. I don't feel the same. Or thanks. Hey, let me change the subject real quick because I don't know how to reciprocate or that I want to. Yeah, it's going to cause some feelings of isolation and breakage, and I'm alone in this. Yeah, stands to reason. Thing is that we don't stay there. We don't want to hang out there. Okay? If somebody rejects what you have to give, and you did so of your own free will, of your own free emotional space, believe them. Don't hang out. Just don't hang out. Trying to prove their worth or your worth, or change their mind. It's not going to happen. Okay? And if it does, it needs to happen on their time, not yours. Okay? So Five of Pentacles, I understand. But don't stay there, because that's where you are in present day. I don't want you to stay here. Life does not stop here. Okay? Because somebody wasn't as open as you. Queen of Swords in future. There you go. Get that mental toughness. Kick that back in. Look at that logically and reasonably, rationally. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying makes sense. And see it for yourself. It's going to sting, but that's not the point. I want you to use that 2 + 2 logic to see this for what it was. Okay? I'm not saying necessarily that they're an asshole. What I'm saying is that they didn't match you, and you don't want to be connected to someone who doesn't match your emotional interests. Done. Full stop. Nine of Cups in the outcome. That's better. A lot better. You're showing me self-interest. You will see to your emotional needs yourself. Remember, you love you first. Okay? Yeah, Nine of Cups can be taken to a selfish place, but in its pro phase, it's that person who remembers, I need to love me first. Okay? And understand what wish fulfillment is for me, because this ain't it. Is to open my heart and have it rejected. That's not wish fulfillment. I don't want to hang out with that. No, you don't. Because you're reasonable. You're intelligent. And you're a loving being. So, you know, don't hang out where you're not wanted, right? You know what's interesting? It seems to me in modern society, everybody wants the invitation, but they also equally want the right to decline it. I find that most people just want to be invited. And if they want to opt out, they can opt out. So, listen. Listen. You didn't get the return invitation. So don't show up to their party. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It wouldn't be a very good one, would it? It doesn't look like they have much of a party, if I'm being honest with you. Queen of Cups. That's me, though. Queen of Cups. 7 of Wands. Let's do it. And people get so focused on the invitations they don't receive that they miss out on other ones. Okay, Queen of Cups, 7 of Wands. Eight of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Star. Ah, yeah. Look, you yourself say I didn't know, but I tried. And it's true, and that's all any of us can do, so good for you. Eight of Swords, confusion. Knight of Swords, so you went to clear it up. It's like, I don't know. I didn't know, but I tried, and you did, so good for you. The Star, it was important to you. It was important to you. You had a goal. You met your goal. I want to open up my heart to this situation or person. I don't know what the response is going to be. Logically, you showed me that. Not emotionally, logically, you showed me that. So that would explain your Queen of Swords in future. You do have a tendency towards logic and reasoning, and that's going to be a big thing for you, and that's good. I'm glad that you have that. Eight of Swords, that's logic and reasoning right there. I don't know, but I'm going to try. It means a lot to me, the Star. Okay. So you opened your heart, and you didn't know if it was going to be returned to you. I understand. Good job. That's all I can tell you is good job, because you're absolutely right. You don't know. You won't know until you try. Okay? But now you know. All right. And for some of you, it was important. If I feel something, I'm going to say it as my new goal. Something like that. In which case, you met that goal. All right. Anything else, please, about that pass? Before we move on. The Hanged Man, the Five of Cups, and a Page of Cups. You had a lot to think about. You have a lot to think about here. A big part of your decision was the influence you've had of past remorse and missed opportunities, and you didn't want that to happen again, so you took your shot. So this, what you did here, you really did have a goal. Is that if you feel something, you're going to naturally open up and say so, and you will invite someone to join you in that space. But yeah, it's like I say all the time, you can't guarantee the other side. But you did meet your goal, because you had a lot to think about, Hanged Man, about missed opportunities and things that weren't said or done in the past, and you don't want anything like that to haunt you again. So you did the opposite of what you've experienced in the past. Again, all good stuff I preach about constantly. You know, do the opposite of what was done in the past, and you'll get different results. And many of you have thought about things like that yourself. The Hanged Man, you have your own unique histories and past orientations and experiences regarding love and things that didn't work out and the things that did but then still fell apart. Okay. You are that person. You don't want to be haunted with any more missed opportunities. So you did something quite reasonable. I'm opening my heart here. There's no guarantee. I will wish for the best, but I'll be darned if I will accumulate any more, regrets for not having expressed myself or made myself open and available. I made it clear that I was, and it wasn't returned. Now I know. Well done. You're very reasonable here. Extremely reasonable. And I am sorry, as Seven of Wands, but hey, they weren't compatible to you in a deeper way or a more meaningful way. Or they just weren't available like that. Okay? Good, they saved you some time. Five of Pentacles. Like I said, don't stay there. And how much of it was a loss, really? You know? The Five of Pentacles. I know, it's going to hit different for everybody. But you did the right thing in accordance to you. And that's wonderful. A lot of people won't, and then they ruminate on it for the next 20 years. And then they have another Five of Cups. That could have been prevented if they had just said something or done something. So good for you. You 100% miss the shots you don't take. Okay. Knights of Pentacles. Three of Swords. King of Swords. Oh, good for you. You know you're going to move on. You know. You're already in that path. Gosh, you have such a logical mind. I love it. So don't get me wrong. In tarot, I really want to see a healthy combination of the intelligent self, which you absolutely have, and the intuitive self, which I saw back here in the Queen of Cups. So you really do lean into your logical side, which is good. I'm glad that you didn't take this. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it hurt. But you also showed me a kind of reasonable accountability. Like, not to take it personally. I can open my heart, but they may not step through that door. So good for you. Seriously, good for you. I mean, you know that rejection here is part of the path, right? And it hurts, but look at you. You're already moving forward because you know. You know. Don't take it personally. It's their right to not step through the door. I had feelings, they don't. I had a goal, and I met that goal. If anything, I would like it if you showed me that you're proud of yourself. You should be. But here you're showing me the kind of intellectual capacity. It's my job now to move forward. Okay? Rejection is part of life. You're absolutely right. Three of Swords, I would often argue with people. Rejection is one of the key elements in life that makes you who you are. It's not how easy of a time you have in this life, but how well can you overcome obstacles and difficulties. That's what really makes a human. Not how easy you have it. But how well did you do beyond that hardship? I think you've done pretty darn well. Queen of Swords. And Nine of Cups. Queen of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Like always, if you're new to the channel, you know, it's one of the things I get all the time. You treat the signs differently. Yeah, that's because the signs are different. Yeah. They're collective personalities. Yeah, so absolutely. How I talk to you is not how I'm going to talk to Scorpio, etc. But like always, it's a pleasure to read your sign because you guys can just be so straight to the point. And let me tell you, in tarot... Not too many of the personalities do that. You know, it can be quite refreshing. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for the emotional complexities of the water signs and and the same with the intellectual intrigues that is the air signs. I get it. I do. And the intensity and sometimes the impulsivity of the fire signs, but sometimes it's just refreshing to have someone who is down to earth. They make short work of it. That also means sometimes I get less time with you, but it's not about keeping score. You know, it really isn't. It's, did we read what we need to read here today? Eight of Cups, Four of Pentacles and Strength. Yeah, you're letting it go. You know you're supposed to. You know you want to. You don't need to hold on to this. This is not where you stop. As I said, I think early in your reading, clearly this is not where you stop. No, you keep moving forward. Good. You know you're supposed to. It's within your strength. You know you don't want to linger. You're showing me I don't want to linger. I want to get on with things. Yeah, of course you do. You want to move your heart on. You want to move your interests on. You want to move your motivation on. Yeah. All you're showing me is forward, 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 because I know it's right for me, intellectually, spiritually, etc. Eight of Cups, I do not stop here. Nine of Cups, my next stop is wish fulfillment. I'm going to see to my own needs and resume my journey. You know, absolutely. So I really don't want to press the point further. But I will. There you go. Yeah, that's absolutely 1,000% you. Soon enough, and then double the Nine of Cups, as we discussed. This is you in your pro form, not in your con form. You saying to your own needs and understanding that it's right for you, if not adamant about it. Okay. All signs have pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. The devil's no different. Okay. If you don't think the devil has advantages, you don't know Capricorn very well. It's honestly. What's up? Yeah, but no, this is not your last stop, obviously. Four of Swords, Six of Cups, Ace of Swords. Okay, that's interesting. A little further out, I don't think you're aware of this yet. Why would you be? It's future-oriented, and I don't think the thought has occurred to you, and that is a thought. Four of Swords, Six of Cups, Ace of Swords. I see you looking at the idea potentially of healing, maybe, or connecting to a soul bond. It does not have to be a person of intimate value. You could be thinking about, for all I know, talking to your BFF. I don't know. It's up to you. It's just, it's on your mind in future. It's like, oh, this person might provide some insight. That's how they're coming across. So your soul bond here, Six of Cups, that could be anything from a sibling to a BFF to, yes, to someone whom you've known romantically in the past. I don't know. It's up to you. But you're saying, I would like to talk to them. They might have some good insight for me. You might be right. It hasn't occurred to you yet. It's a little further out, though. But yeah, I mean, by all means, anyone who can lend you a little bit more insight, comfort, care, support, you know, so much the better. That's why they're there. That's why they're in our life, ideally in a healthy way. There you go. Okay. Compassion, nurture, yes. Show that to yourself once more. This is about self-worth. Don't hang around and linger in this, and don't give someone the opportunity to reject you twice. I don't know why that would be the case, but that often happens to people who linger, hoping they'll see things differently, or if they hang out long enough, they'll change their mind, or they'll grow feelings out of nowhere all of a sudden. So yeah, let's not let that happen. Like I said, I don't see you staying still. I really don't. It starts out slow at first, but then you pick up more speed later. But yeah, show yourself nurturing, compassion, insight, understanding. And once more, I want you to become grounded in that goal that you had from the very beginning. The next time you felt feelings or you wanted to open up and extend the invitation, you said you would, and that you would honor that part of yourself. You did. Okay? And someone did not meet you in the same space, and now you know what to do. Move forward into new love. That will still be a goal for many of you from this point forward. Absolutely. Why? Because this weren't it. So honor that goal too. Okay? This is not where my love stops. No, it does not. Okay. We have Z, D, F. We have the medallions of Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius. You might have these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to, or this season might be important to you. Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, what's up? Show me, Scorpio. Show me, Scorpio. Okay. Past, the Hermit, rising into the Sun. Present day, the Chariot. Before you, the Knight of Cups, and the outcome is the Four of Wands. Wow. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's kind of like, I guess we should just stop here, huh? You enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, but no, we have a job to do. Still, it's beautiful. The Hermit, in the past. How far back in the past? It's up to you. Recent, old, somewhere in between. The Hermit, for the Scorpio I'm looking at, you have dedicated a lot of your past to learning, wisdom, and then also, of course, healing. The Hermit is actually my favorite card for the indication of healing in tarot because it's based on real experiences. So being wise enough to know that if you want to heal, you need to learn. So you hold up the lantern to your own path, look back on it, see where you've come from. It's a good indication about where you might be going and if you want to continue to proceed in that direction or do you want to shift directions. So overall, thinking about your life, okay, particularly in the past, what you've learned from it and where it might be taking you. And are you good with that? A lot of benefits to the Hermit. We learn, and then we can stay the course or make adjustments. Much more involved than, say, Temperance is. Rising into the sun. Whatever it is you figured out by looking at the past, it's allowing you to rise into a space of the sun. Happiness. Simply put, just happiness. And a Chariot, present day. I see you moving forward in that direction. And you have been. And you want to continue on. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying that you didn't have issues or obstacles along the way. Of course you did. But you're like, nevertheless, I will proceed. And so you are. I just see you proceeding on your journey. The same journey that you've been thinking about for a while. Your path. Like we discussed. What you've learned from it and so on. And what is happiness and pursuing it as best you can. And you keep on. You're not done. Knight of Cups is before you and future Four of Wands. So I see something that takes place outside of you that is part of your happiness, I believe. You'll be heading that direction soon enough. Knights of Cups, it's either you or someone is coming toward you. We shall see. Four of Wands, I can't quite tell. But it looks like we are relationship inclined. So Knight of Cups, of course, is the most romantic of the knights, but the only knight associated with a loving sort of vulnerability. Okay? So it's either you expressing yourself outwards or it's you're receiving it. Okay? But Four of Wands, yeah, there's a potential here for a relationship defined as two people or defined by two people, so I don't know. But the idea is that the possibility exists. Okay, the Hermit, the Sun, beautiful. The Hermit, the Sun. Indeed, what is happiness? What do I know to be true for myself in concerns to happiness? What does that look like for me? How have I experienced it thus far? Or haven't? And if so, how do I change that? The Hermit, the Sun, show me. The High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, very good, beautiful. You've had a sense for some time as part of your Hermit experience. The High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Listen to yourself. Are you seeing to your own self-worth, your own needs, your own comfort, your own care? Listening to yourself. There, the High Priestess. A lot of concentration there at home. Nesting, if you will. But seeing to your needs, you and your household's needs, and prioritizing that. You have a lot of energy around this, and you understand that's natural and good for you. Okay, so you keep doing it. Clearly it works. But yeah, listening to yourself and any decisions around your personal comfort, care, and household energy. And that includes anyone who resides within it. And that's where the most of your everyday energies go to, and happily so. You're very good at it. It feels right to you. You peg that right away. That makes me happy. Understanding my home, adding to it, okay, building into it, investing in it, because that's how I'm investing in me. I'm worthy of a comfortable space, okay? And I know that, and I listen to that. So you're saying, that makes me very happy. So that's where a lot of your natural energy goes towards every day. That feels correct to you. What else, please? Prioritizing the home and the finances around it, etc. But as it ties back to your self-worth, I like being comfy and cozy. I like being secure financially. I'm worthy of these things. Yes, you are. Anything else here that you have learned that you know makes you you, that makes you happy? You've made some really good decisions in there, intuitively speaking. About your home and your overall way of life, your quality of life, if you will. King of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. You said that you've had to learn a lot of things the hard way based on past experiences, and that you know that. Okay. And you're still unpacking a lot of it. King of Swords, Ten of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. Literally, some of you are still learning from hard experiences of the past. Your mind gets a little edgy there. Okay? But still solid. You're still unraveling some things that are painful in your past. And understanding how you relate to them in terms of happiness and what does that mean. Okay? Okay. Long story short, there's some things in here you're still learning. More on the personal side as it relates to difficult experiences. It's informing you of a lot of things, but you're still working through it. They're old, painful experiences, possible endings, yes. That happened over time, Wheel of Fortune. You're still finding wisdom in that, okay? You're still learning from it. And if you learn from it, how might what you learn lead to future happy endeavors? Okay. I know it's very overview, and that's fine. King of Swords, Ten of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. The Chariot in present day. Show me that, please. Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Chariot. Again, that's a non-issue. And you're very consistent. You're a consistent Scorpio. That's very clear. You have the Chariot twice, FYI. Some of you might have some very strong Cancer in your chart, and it doesn't have to be. It's just what's here. And it also tells me there's a lot of forward momentum happening for you now in your present space. Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Again, that's what you show me. I love that for you. I do. I love that for us. You're saying all your intensity, your passion would get you fired up in the morning, okay? You're like, that goes through to your 3D. It's like there's no qualms about that. You love what you do. You're good at it. You're very good at it. It allows you to exercise a lot of freedom. Freedom is in fire. Creativity, also in fire. But just passion. I get to do what I love, and I fucking love it. So you are on course for that. You have been on course from that. And again, that was an easy call. You identified that right away as something that makes you happy. And in fact, it brings out some of your sharper intuitive skills. You can navigate your 3D really well. You know how to nest and cultivate and invest according to your own intuitive self, which is wonderful. You've gotten some really good leads over the years, yeah? But above all, you're showing me it pays to listen to yourself. Cha-ching. So it does. It really does pay to listen to yourself. If you have an inkling, a hunch that you're good at something, explore it, see where it takes you, and that's exactly what you've done. And you're quite good at it. That's a non-issue. In fact, given that the Chariot is here twice, thrusters are on. Some of you are going to have a huge pickup in your jobs or your careers. Okay? That is on full speed ahead. I mean, if anything, you're more invigorated today than you were yesterday. Gosh, it's like you're really closing in on something. And it's awesome. That is awesome. Congratulations. Oh, but yeah, the 3D world, no problem. That's on a particular course, and ooh, don't try to stop that train, honey. You get hurt. Not you. You're not going to stop. Look at you. No, it's like you're just getting started. Look at you. All right. I would love to hang out in that a little longer, but let's keep going. There's more to cover. Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands. But yeah, congratulations on your work and your comfort zone, your home, and things like that. Clearly you're doing quite well there, you know? All right, Knight of Cups. Four of Wands. Some softness there. Possibly something romantic. Yes, relationship energy for certain. Okay, Knight of Cups, Four of Wands. Oh, Nine of Wands. Oh, Six of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Huh. I got some... Do you hear that? How close that bird is to the window? Okay, that's interesting. Bit of a conflict there. Is that persistence? Because I see the triumph, but there's a certain adamant. Nine of Wands, Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Someone here of the singular self is showing up, and they're insisting upon triumph. The fuck does that mean? Somebody's insisting on triumph. I see somebody being soft and vulnerable and trying to open up, and the other person's like, persistence to triumph, it seems. It's interesting. It's different. It's kind of like I'm not taking no for an answer. Huh. It's interesting. It's either you or them. I don't know. I'm not taking no for an answer. Okay. Sometimes I have mixed reactions to persistence. It's because I know what it's like when somebody just doesn't want to take no, and you just want to be like, dude, get the fuck out of my face, or there will be consequences. And there's other times where you're like, okay, I see you. It's hard to tell. Knight of Cups sometimes, Eight of Wands. It depends. If it's arrogant, then it's a turnoff. If it's a gentle sort of persistence, then that can be quite attractive and sexy. It just depends. It depends on that person and how they're perceiving it and how the other person's coming across and how they're presenting themselves. But it looks like we are interpreting this as an attractive sort of persistence, I must say. Knight of Cups is here again. Eight of Wands, Page of Cups. So, it looks like we're interpreting it as positive. Because I see you talking to them. I do. I do see you talking to them. It's interesting. Okay. It looks like we're interpreting this as attractive as opposed to a negative or a turnoff. Okay. I wasn't quite sure what to make of that. It could be a pride thing I'm seeing there. Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands, because they do want triumph, but they are saying I'm here of my own free will. I'm not taking no for an answer. It is kind of like that. Like I said, depending on presentation and perhaps where you are at the moment, you're either going to find that attractive and appropriate, or, excuse me, you know. So, like I could see, like I say, I even told you where at times it can be, yeah, it can be attractive. It can be a good quality in somebody, and other times it's really fucking annoying, you know. But I see persistence here did prevail. So we're talking. I'm not telling you what to do. You're telling me what you're going to do. And for some of you don't know this is a thing yet. I mean, it hasn't appeared on the scene. But Knight of Cups is here. Eight of Wands is here. There's a little bit of a chafing persistence. Nine of Wands, we must remember, is persistence. Behavioral persistence. And depending on why we're doing it, it can either lead more often than not to exhaustion. It's doing the same thing over and over again, but we're not getting any different results. Okay, so that's persistence. And then there can be persistence where I'm standing up for myself, a cause, a belief, or a feeling. Okay, and that has a certain level of conviction that's positive. So again, once more, because I know it confuses people, but this is true to life, as is nature, as with tarot cards. There are pros and cons. This one could have swung in either direction, especially since the Six of Wands was attached to it. So I defaulted to persistence in victory. Okay, I'm here because I want to be, and I'm not taking no for an answer. Leaning more towards positive, but given your reaction to it, you, for the Scorpio I'm looking at, you seem to be interpreting it as positive. So long as you're cool with it, you find it appealing, hey, that's all I care about. That's it. That's all I care about. So I was just curious. It's not like over the top. It's not like some devil thing. It's not like a tower thing. It's not like that. It's just, I can tell that this person, they know when to push when it's time to push, I suppose is what you could say. Okay? And not necessarily a bad trait. You have to have those same kind of characteristics in business too. You know, and how we go about one thing is often how we do the other. So I tell you what, this person's used to speaking for themselves. I know that. But yeah, no, you showed me the Knight of Cups twice. Okay, Four of Wands. Okay, so there's this idea of relationship energy floating around, and then the conversation begins. But yeah, there you go. Okay. I love that how excited you are for your career. Congratulations. Like I said, you seem to be more psyched up for it today than you were yesterday. So yeah, definitely making inroads in that. So again, if things start to pick up or get a little crazy or get a little busy with that double chariot, you know what's up. But you're excited though. You're not put off by it. You're not annoyed by it. No, you're like, bring it on. Okay. What's up? Speak your truth. Okay. Meaningful coincidences, separation. That's where I actually see it back here. Is that the truth that you were working through, that you were still unpacking in the past, painful experiences that led you to where you are today, and is most likely reshaping your definition of happiness. You know what? Now that I'm putting that together, I'm looking at it. Something here, meaningful coincidences, which there aren't any. Separation is speak your truth. Things that you have separated from the past that were painful and you're still learning from it might be teaching you then of the past what to look forward to in the future. If you learn from it, what do I say all the time, guys? I'm just putting this together. I have the idea, I have the feeling, but it's up to you. What do I say all the time? You only fail if you refuse to learn. You refuse to fail. So in your past then, you might be saying yes to a future where you are allowing yourself to connect to somebody that is insisting upon their own presence or their own truth. That kind of tells me perhaps where you're coming from. Perhaps you had emotional attachments to people who weren't so capable of showing up as their own person, who could make their own decisions, who had to perhaps feel like they were being cajoled in love as opposed to just understanding they wanted to express their feelings. So that might be the element here in the past that I'm looking at that you're still unpacking, and then you put it into practice later. That would be because this energy shows up very firmly, and then you have a very positive response to it. Like, yes, someone who is standing here in front of me on their own 2 feet, and they're insisting, this person has no problem speaking up. So you might be finding that attractive, whereas perhaps in the past you had emotional attachments that didn't do that. That would be my first thought, especially since seeing these oracles here. Okay. But hey. Tarot is as much an art form as it is a skill. Okay. Anything else here, please? That would be my first thought, because you showed such a positive reaction. Like, honestly, it was authentically positive. The Knight of Cups is there twice, plus communication. You like this. You liked it. I think there's something about that firmness that shows up that says, I'm here. I am my own man. I am my own woman. And I'm talking to you. And you went, okay. Something about codependency issues of the past, or people who have poor dependencies, or they're just incapable of speaking up for themselves or acting on their own behalf. People couldn't make up their fucking mind. Something like that. There's a huge emphasis on I respond to people who can speak for themselves and act for themselves. Respect. Okay, I think I understand you. That's where you're coming from. That's the thing you're still unpacking. Your pentacle life, beautiful, gorgeous. Oh. So it looks like you learned something, because I see you saying the yes. Yes to an opposite of the past, I suppose. Okay, EOVL, love. Shut the LOV. Shut up. It spells love. Stop it. And then there's an N, and I saw love in. What was that? No. What is that? What is that? That cute movie from the early millennia. What was that? I am McLovin. I love it. I love that line. Everybody loves that line. I am McLovin. Oh, no. Anyway, LOVE. And then I saw N. Yeah. Get out of here. We have the butterfly. Yeah, everybody's getting Scorpio confirmation because of the upcoming season, and then I'm going to see more and more Sag and Capricorn too. But yeah, here we have double Scorpio, so 'tis the season. It's upcoming. Transformation for you, what you have learned to be put into practice soon enough. I believe so. In the time of Scorpio, and then there's Sag. Speak of the, not the devil, that's Capricorn, but speak of the Sag. Speak of the Archer. So somewhere between our Scorpio influence and Sagittarius season, a lot of this activity is taking place. And then we also have the Peacock. Yeah. This incoming person, they got a touch of the display, and there's that persistence. Notice me, see me. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, it's not necessarily showing off. It's like, see me. I'm here. Nine of Pentacles. I'm here. See me. These are my colors. This is my display. I'm trying to get your attention. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah, they got a touch of the display, but it's to get your attention. Okay, you like what they got to offer. I know that. Scorpio, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, what's up? Show me, Pisces. What's going on? Show me, Pisces. Yeah. Past. Page of Pentacles, rising into the Emperor. Present day, Ten of Swords. Oy. Okay, you're a serious fish. I see that. Knights of Cups before you. Outcome is the Five of Cups. Okay. Ooh, tough audience today. Oh my. Yeah, no, I know. It hurts, but I see you taking ownership, you know. Page of Pentacles in the past. When, that's up to you. Recent, far away, again, as it resonates. But I see you looking at an idea. It was a small idea. Okay, we didn't know what we were going to do with it necessarily, but then you rose into the Emperor, and then you made a decision. Okay, you stood your ground, you stood firm on a particular point. It was not an easy point for you. And the Ten of Swords, present day, is pain. Possibly to the point of an ending. Thing is that you stood your ground. And here, this is where we see the Emperor in the unpleasant way. This is what empowerment looks like. It entails responsibility of doing the hard thing, not just when times are easy. It's really easy to stand in our power and insist our way when times are easy. There's no conflict. There's nothing really to deal with. There's no real decisions. So we can say we're empowered when, you know, there's no challenge. Well, this is what I would do. This is what I stand up for. Show me some conflict and then I'll believe you. Because that's when we get consistency of character, is when we're confronted. Okay? When we get conflict, then we see who someone really is. Okay? So I see you standing your ground and taking responsibility for something that's very difficult. And you're saying, this is what I need to do. Even though it sucks, I'm kind of scared of it. And it's painful, I got to do it. Okay? And that's real empowerment. And then Knight of Cups, Five of Cups. That's you, by the way. That's your court card. Knight of Cups. You are still trying to express yourself in a gentle way. However, it doesn't make the situation any happier. No. I think you're showing me I still care. But this can't be what you want. Okay, there's still going to be disappointment here. Okay. Page of Pentacles, the Emperor. What's going on? Page of Pentacles, the Emperor. Yeah. It's when we're met with challenge and our fears and confrontational things in life that you kind of see someone for who they really are. How they respond, how they don't respond. People respect decisions, not your thoughts, you know? It's real easy to be impressed with somebody and we're like, well, I think this and I think that. And then you actually see them in action or non-action and you're like, okay. Well, so much for your big thoughts on who you are. Page of Pentacles, the Emperor. the Magician, Nine of Wands, the Seven of Cups. Okay. One moment. What else, please? Four of Cups, King of Swords, the Sun. Okay. At some point, you stopped asking for a magical solution that everything would work out. You had to resist that. It was very tempting for some of you to just be like, please, just, I hope things work out. I hope things just work out. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. I need to reject that premise and get more confrontational with whatever this is. So I see you addressing a difficult situation head on because you concluded that was the right thing for you to do. It was very uncomfortable. But you are clearly addressing unhappiness. However, you had a wish. I want things to be happy in this situation. I do. I really, really do. So you didn't start out right away with outright dismissal, ending, worlding, cycling, whatever. You said, I'm addressing this because it just won't go away. I've been trying to wish it away, and it's not working. I'm unhappy. You seem to be unhappy. And I'm addressing this head on with the hope of things being happy here. Okay? So that was the original goal. And this is where I see you stepping into the Emperor's power. You addressing a difficult subject head on because you couldn't wish it away. And you're saying that was foolish. And that's the habit of this situation, is just hope it gets better and avoid it. Avoid conflict. And you're like, no, we can't keep doing that. So let's address the thing here that's making us unhappy. Let's address the elephant in the room. And again, the idea was, I'm looking for solutions here for a happy sort of outcome. Okay? All right. So a bit complex there, but I see you trying to be very reasonable. Okay? Standing up for yourself, being a little confrontational here, but it was with positivity in mind. There was no threats in there. There was no ultimatums, anything like that. Simply, I'm trying to understand how this can get better and stop defaulting to, let's just wish it'll go away. Okay. Ten of Swords. Page of Swords, Small Insight, Three of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. It's become increasingly clear to you. You're not expecting any more cooperation at this point. So I know there was a we, and I don't know that it's necessarily romantic. It sure as hell isn't coming across that way. I just see that there is the potential of someone else's emotional energy involved in this unhappiness, but I don't know who it is. Again, it's not always love readings, guys. You can have other people in your life other than love interests. So again, this can include any dynamic you have with a friend or family member, a colleague, for all I know. But yeah, also could be someone of intimate, you didn't show me any of that. But anyway, Ten of Swords, Page of Swords, Three of Pentacles. They're saying whatever this is can be marked as a friendship or partnership or someone who, bare minimum, by its barest definition, is meant to cooperate with you. That is the most basic definition of the Three of Pentacles you can get, cooperation. You could have that with a roommate. So I don't know what this is to you, but you did the right thing. You addressed this. You stopped trying to block it or wish it away. We got confrontational, but you strongly indicated, I want there to be a happy solution. Okay. Now, time has passed in present day. You're looking at this very clearly, very concisely, and it's difficult what you're looking at. Ten of Swords. It's painfully obvious to you, or painfully obvious to the Pisces I'm looking at, and that's if you resonate, that this isn't going to cooperate. Somebody here is too small-minded. They can't get out of their head or out of their negative emotion. They have no intent of changing or opening up their mind. Okay? Particularly here in the mental category. Someone here is not leveling up their knowledge. They're not wanting to learn more. Never mind, take responsibility for it. We cannot take responsibility for something we refuse to acknowledge. So someone here is refusing to acknowledge their role here and how difficult it's being, uncooperative it's being, because it's like, again, if you acknowledge it, then you have to acknowledge there's a problem. We don't want to do that. So someone's keeping their intelligence around the subject very, very small. Page of Swords. I don't think there's a problem. I don't see why anything should have to change. It could be flat out ignoring too. Very passive. Passive aggressive. Okay. Refusal to cooperate or gain insight on the subject. Page of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. And let me tell you something, baby. With the Hangman there suggests we've had time. We've had so much time to grow into the knowledge. To see the discord for what it is, the discomfort and the upsetness for what it is, and someone's refusing to acknowledge. Never mind participate. You ever met that person where they're like, just tell me what's wrong, and you tell them what's wrong, and they're like, well, that didn't happen. No, you're misremembering. It seems like gaslighting, and perhaps in some extent it is, but this is more like you can't even perform in gaslighting if you refuse to acknowledge there's a problem at all. It's just no. No. Just no. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. It might be a problem for you, but not for me, so I'll just be over here ignoring the whole situation. That's how low functioning that is. Gaslighting would imply some intelligence. You have to be clever enough to do it, right? So, I don't know. I don't know, guys, but it's painfully obvious to you what ain't happening here, okay? Knight of Cups and the Five of Cups. Hopefully I explained that as best I could. Yours is a little complicated today because I cannot strictly define what this relationship is, other than that somebody's supposed to be cooperating with you. Knight of Cups, and there you are, darling. You're trying to be expressive, but Five of Cups, the sadness remains. It might be that it's best to leave this connection alone. Think of it as disconnecting a cable. Perhaps short term, you can reconnect it later if there's more insight or improvement there. Ten of Swords is no guarantee of an ending, but it's sure as hell a sharp indicator that it could go in that direction. All right, Knight of Cups, Five of Cups. The Star. Nine of Pentacles, exactly, Two of Cups. I think you're doing your best, your level best to express support and care to this situation, but it's still regretful. That being the case, you're kind of picking yourself up and saying, look, I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to go my own way. Nine of Pentacles, the Star. I wish the best for you. It is like that, and I wouldn't expect anything less from your sign. You're not saying it as having the last word. Well, I hope the best for you. No, you actually mean it. Knight of Cups and the Five of Cups. You are expressing your regret. And it's like, I am sorry it has to be this way, but you don't seem to understand there's a problem. I do. That being the case, I do wish the best for you. I do. The Star, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups. I really, really do. I love you. I care about you. I support you. But I need to do my own thing over here, the Star and the Nine of Pentacles. So I do see you going your own way, but you do so on terms of peace and love and support. I think you are leaving the door open for this person if they ever decide to become a little more enlightened on the subject. And then, therefore, might pose a shot on working through this later. But now's not that time. So I actually see you leaving them with peace and a sense of regret and sadness. So I'm sorry we couldn't work this out. But I do want you to know I do care about you. I do love you. I do support you. But I need to be on my own for a while. And that's a beautiful indication of the self, is the Star of Nine of Pentacles. You've got things you need to do. Okay? I think you lingered in this as long as you could, or as long as you should. But there's visions and dreams and goals and things that are within you that you want to see carried out, and not just hang out here hoping things will be okay with this person, because they're not. They don't want it to be okay, because that means they'd have to acknowledge something was wrong. I don't even see that. Okay. The Empress. The Lover's, Strength, heads up, ding dong. For some of you, I don't know if you know this. Who else gave me a FYI towards the end? Who else did give me an FYI towards the end? It was Capricorn. Very different. Yours is much stronger. But yeah, you got a little FYI there towards the end. The Star, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups, you wish them well, and I am sorry things had to be this way. That really is what this is. I'm sorry things had to be this way. I care about you. I do. You really do. It's like there's dreams in me. I see kind of what your dream is. I wasn't looking for that necessarily. I just wanted to see what else might be out there for you. But you have a dream that you need to focus on, and it requires the self. This is me, myself, and I. No one else. Okay? And yeah, the Empress, the Lovers, and Strength. In time, all upper division right there, all majors. You will have not just a strong connection, but the strong connection. That's once in a lifetime right there. So we will be meeting that with strength because we want to embrace it. Very much so. I would love to know when that starts. For some of you, it might be Aquarius season, which is at the start of the year. Ooh. Head in that direction. It, whatever this is I just, honey, if that's an intimate partner, I would be shocked. I mean, how bad did things get that it got to that point? So I don't know who this is to you. Okay, but I have an idea of where you'd like to go. And this person's not along for the ride, and they're not supposed to be. This is yours. This is yours. It's solely yours. Okay? Yeah. And while you are saying, I'm sorry, I gotta go, I do wish you well, and you mean it. Which you tried to make things more emotionally sound with them, more at peace with them, and they weren't at that level, man. They weren't vibrating that way, I guess. But yeah, this is you. This is you, baby. And in time, you will connect to a person of very strong importance. Okay. Yeah. But how long have you been trying? That's a core part of the past and present day irrefutable evidence that it's just not going to take. And it's painful, irrefutable evidence, but let that person speak for themselves. Your job is to believe them. Okay? So I know what people think, but to not choose is still a choice. To not act is still an action. You understand me? So you let that person tell you who they are. Let them teach you who they are. And it's your job to accept it, not push back on it, not to talk them out of it, not to teach them or train them up about where they're supposed to be. They make their decisions, you make yours. Okay? That's it. Busy and distracted. Oh, it's always something. Oh, I'm sure. When you don't want to pay attention to something, it's very easy. Yes. Excuse me. While I take a little dive under the table. Kind of. Hot and cold. Acknowledgement and then an acknowledgement. Acknowledgement and then not acknowledgement. You know, it's kind of like saying, I want to hang out with you, but I don't want to discuss anything too serious. Or I want to connect, but not really spine-wise. It's too small. Page of Swords there. Again, too small. Too small. They don't want to devote their full mind to this. They want to keep an eye on you. They want to keep tabs on the situation, but they don't actually want to be involved in a real way. And that's the Page of Swords. Okay. We have Q. R, we have the, and X, Q, R, X. We have the medallions of Sagittarius, Scorpio. Those are back-to-back seasons, so FYI, coming up. Very important there. You might have these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to the season. Might be important to you. We have the little spatula. Somebody likes to cook. That's their hobby. That's their profession. Or perhaps you just like to eat, or perhaps you're cooking right now, in which case, hello. We have the crescent moon in reverse. Perhaps by the new moon. Again, there might be more energy there, which is upcoming, just like those seasons are upcoming. So there's that. And then the wolf in reverse and upside down. You're not interested in pursuing this anymore. And there is, I have to admit, a lack of intelligence or grace around this particular subject. It's like someone's going out of their way to be small and spiteful. You know, the wolf in the upright, like anything, it has pros and cons. You can say in the pro form, okay, defending of its territory, of its domain, a hunter. Provides for that reason, skillful. The con, territory negative, possessive, something that might be a destructive element. But it's none of those things. It's none of those things. It seems to be neither here nor there. Doesn't seem to stand up for or pursue anything, but also won't do what it's supposed to do. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay. It's kind of weirdly passive-aggressive. The energy's way too small. And that's where, I don't think that's where they always were, no, but that's where they are now. And you need to go on the evidence of now. Like I said, that's your only job. All right. Pisces, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer, what's up? Show me Cancer, please. Okay. Page of Cups is in the past. Rising into the Emperor, present day, Knight of Cups. Yeah. Before you, the Hierophant. Outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Pretty sweet. Pretty nice. Page of Cups in the past. At what point? That's up to you. Recent, long term, as it resonates. A little bit of heart space right there, little guy. Little guy. It's very shy. It's cute. And the Emperor. Oh! Well, that's different. A little bit of heart space to the Emperor. It's. I'm here. Very different. Very different. Much more stronger presence. Okay? We'll see what that's all about. It's interesting. A little bit of openness and vulnerability went a long way here because it rose into a state of authority and or power. So it was pretty damn strong. Pretty damn strong reaction to that Page of Cups. It made somebody feel strong. Knight of Cups for your present day. Very soft. So what's going on? Softer. Softer, stronger than the Page of Cups, but soft. I feel like someone's very gently using their words, but it's coming from a firm disposition. Okay? It's, I guess you could say when the masculine expresses himself, it's associated with that energy. It's hard, but it seems all the more sincere. Okay? I like where it's coming from. Seems to be pretty solid. Let's keep going. Yeah, but Knight of Cups is in the present day. Expression, emotional expression. It's a little softer side. Okay. And then a little further out, the Hierophant, sense of commitment here, Knight of Pentacles. All right, steady. Something here is shaping up in terms of its strength, solidity, again, commitment concepts. Seems to be heading that direction. It's firm, steady. Okay, it's building up there. It's not an absolute, but it seems to be building up in that direction. Okay, so it becomes solid. As I say, it becomes more solid. Yes, yes. All right, Page of Cups, the Emperor. What's going on? Now, I'm not saying you have to be masculine or whoever else is in there has to be masculine. I'm saying it's just somebody here is not always comfortable expressing themselves emotionally, but when they do, they mean it. Okay? And I agree. Being able to express oneself emotionally is a strength. But you have to see it that way or you won't experience it that way. If you don't believe in that, you won't practice it. See what I'm saying? So, anyway, I see someone here doing their best to practice it. Page of Cups and the Emperor. Seven of Wands, the Chariot, that's you. Two of Swords. How to proceed. Oh, and the Chariot, so I'm defaulting to you at this point, okay? That's you, Seven of Wands, Two of Swords. You weren't always so certain in the past about how to open up. You wanted to, the desire was there. But you're like, what does that even look like? Oh. So you really tried to keep a grip on your feelings here, but also you felt something, but how do I express that? I don't know. Okay. There's that firmness there with the Seven of Wands, the Chariot. I have to be true to me. I want to honor what I feel. But how the hell do I say it? Okay. We got caught up on what to say and how to say it. Okay. It's not an accusation. Don't take it as one. I'm just reading the cards, guys. Ace of Cups, the Hierophant. Some of you have some very strong Taurus in your chart. We also have Aries here. Yeah, oh my gosh, what a conflict. Oh my goodness, because, yeah, the love was there. Ace of Cups, very strongly felt between these two. Surprise, surprise, you were both on the same emotional page, but only one person was talking the language, or was trying to, I think. It was hard to find the commitment to the feeling here, and I see you struggling with that in your opening. You wanted very much to honor what you felt, Seven of Wands, the Chariot, but it's how to express that. So what I have here is kind of like a meow instead of a roar. Okay. So we tried to express something, but it wasn't the full-bodied, sexy cup that perhaps we were experiencing. Okay, with the Hierophant and the Two of Cups, because I know. This is like, once I say it, though, I'm committed to the feeling. And that can be a lot for somebody, especially if they're feeling a lot and they're struggling with the words and the expression of them. Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, Two of Cups. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's from this point of view, it's emotional commitment. Stepping into the feeling, owning it, standing by it. You had so much going on in you. It's here. I want to say it. I want to own what I feel. But how? Because once you step into that circle, you can't just step out of it. You gotta own it, right? I get it. I get it. I get it. Oh, so I see where you struggled with that in the past. Gosh. We really wanted to own what we feel, but it was such a struggle. Okay. And as far as I can tell you, I had two people here on the same emotional page. There really were. It was felt that way, but perhaps not necessarily expressed that way. Often what we feel and what we do are two different things. Okay? And that's pretty much why people watch tarot. All right. All right, so that was you of the past. Oh my goodness. There's so much in there. There's so much. Natural love. Knight of Cups in present day, it's a lot softer. So that would explain the kind of dial I'm seeing. Dial's low, now the dial's up. Okay. Okay. Knight of Cups. Okay. Oh, I'm getting to it. The first, it's like, get out of my hand, just jumping out. The Lovers, the Seven of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, go. You'll be fine. Bye. You don't need to be here. You're fine. You'll be fine. Trust what you feel. They do. I see that your person does. So it's just trust what you feel and be open to the experience. You'll be fine. It's fine. I get it. It's overwhelming. It's a lot. But you have such, honestly, I get it. You're showing me that kind of classic display of masculine energy. It's, I need to be strong. I need to showcase a certain front. But that also means, though, you should be equally protective of what you feel by honoring it and not disregarding it or discounting it. Okay? And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for everybody. What you felt then is just as strong and real and valid as you do today. I can see that what you feel, you take it very seriously. But that also means it's on you just as much, if not more so, to honor it equally. Okay? You have a lot locked up inside you. I would advise you to let it out. For you. and not just the person whom you're connected to. And if they're important to you, then you will say so. Okay? If it's important to you, first and foremost, you will say so. But yeah, you'll be fine. You will be fine. That's it. Just say what's in your heart. And I know that's easy for me to say. I'm the tarot lady. I get to turn this off. Okay? And when I'm done, I'm done. You get to live it. But trust me, if you're that big, strong person, be you male or female, if you're that big, strong person, you're prideful, you get shit done, you're the emperor, a lot is riding on you. Your heart's riding on you too. You get to decide if you honor it or not. Okay? Yeah, I get that. I know what it's like to have that level of responsibility, that level of face out there in the world, maintaining a certain character and strength of will. Okay. I get that. I do. We all have masculine and feminine energies. Clearly, you're more comfortable with your masculine. That's fine. But your feminine here is trying to talk to you, and your feminine is just as natural as your masculine side. You have this big, huge capacity to love at least this person or this connection. And when you try to clamp down on it, in some ways you dishonor it. And that means it's anti-masculine. Okay? So strength, once more, is how you use it. Empowerment, once more, is how you use it. I have half a mind to stop the reading here. I just want to tell you, you're fine. You'll be fine. Just what's in your heart, that's it. That's the golden ticket. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's it. The Lover, 7 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. And if you wanted to know if they return it, I see it. I once more, just because this is what I do, I repeat myself. Most of my job is spent repeating myself. I read what's here, not what isn't. So you want to know if the Lover would be open to 7 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. Does it have a shot in hell? And balancing, once more, I read what's here, not what isn't. So how it goes about, how it plays out in reality, well, that's up to you too. But again, there's the reality. Okay, 6 of Pentacles, cover. Anybody can see it. So that kind of tells me it's in an open space, public, possibly. But the emotional condition is private between you two. And have the opening. Okay? The exploring of the feelings. It's private. Okay. So we have a private conveyance in a way that's fair and balanced, possibly in public, but all I can see is that it's fair. Okay? Okay. It doesn't have to be. In some way it happens. Okay? That's all I know. All right, let's keep moving. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish this darn thing. The Hierophant and the Knights of Pentacles. And I have this conversation, too, when I see people who have a lot of the feminine energy. It's like, honey, it's time for you to get out of your feels. It's time for you to get out of your feels and step into your masculine and understand what's right for you at this point. What is the point of one-sided love? You can keep telling me you love him, or you love her, you love her. Again, feminine energy, we all have it. Okay, but reality. Is it reciprocated? Yours has the potential to be. So I would say it's safe for you to slip into your feminine energy, yes. Okay, but that's up to you. Typically, when I see heightened feminine energy, that tends to be the biggest problem because it's really hard to argue with feelings. I have to give people reality check. I see a barely functioning 3 of Pentacles. Okay, and it's hard. You know, I get it. The Hierophant, the Knights of Pentacles, the heart wants what the heart wants, but that doesn't mean it's right. And that's where people get really mad with the messenger instead of the message. I tell you, the Hierophant, Knights of... I know what I signed up for, honey. You know. I know what I signed up for. I've been doing this a long time. The Hierophant, the Knights of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. What's that about? Show me. the World, Queen of Wands, Six of Wands. Okay. As this seems to be opening up, or it has the potential to, someone, either you or them, is thinking about closing something else out. That's all I know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's intimate. Yeah, it could be that there's too many cooks in the hypothetical kitchen. True. So this, well, it is natural, lovely, and I see what's here, not what isn't, and has the potential to balance, and for these two to reciprocate, somebody has something on their mind that suggests perhaps it's time I close out another cycle. It seems to be unrelated to this, or a different subject altogether. Because it seems to me that we are on a steady path here to solidifying whatever this is. It has the potential to. It has the potential to open up in that direction of commitment at the 3D level. Okay? I already saw the emotional commitment at the beginning. 3D commitment's different. Actually heading in that direction. Okay? Where rubber meets the road. That's opening up. But at the same time, someone here is thinking, maybe it's time I close something else out altogether. And they're taking that very seriously. So, something to think about. I don't know who it is, you or them, but that is on somebody's mind. Okay? I do see a heart space standing here in openness. Okay? And then after that, somebody's mind starts getting to work about a cycle they should potentially be closing out. It's like one less thing on this path to a deepening commitment. Okay? So I don't know. That's up to you. I honestly don't know. Once more, I read what's here, not what isn't. Okay? But yeah. There's something here to do with, if I want to, confusion, Neptune, illusions. Okay, for some of you, Cancer might be your Neptune placement, FYI. But yeah, there's some rose-colored glasses. In order for this thing to proceed, somebody somewhere has to be prepared to let something go. Okay, a cycle must be complete or closed out. Okay. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Yes, indeed. Well, a good life demands decisions. A poorly lived life suggests a lack of decisions. Somebody doesn't want to make decisions. That means they also don't get a life. Family concerns, decisions about family concerns. Family, what does that look like as you relate to family now? Potentially with this person, what does that mean? Somebody might have a family already, in other words, kids, something like that. Or somebody might have a very large family circle. Speak your truth, okay? Yeah, there you go. Things to think about. Well, you know, guys, I wish things were a little smoother there towards the end. Right up here, it made a lot of sense. And in a way, it still does. I see the pathway of commitment being elected into in reality. But someone here's got some serious decisions to make about closing out an old cycle or finalizing it, or just ensuring that it's done, because somebody's mind turned to logic really quickly. Okay, I started seeing the plan here. And is it final? Is it done? Because there's something here about, I want this to shape up in a particular direction, so I need to make sure this is done or closed out. Okay, something like that. R, Y, D, U. We have the Medallion of Taurus as well as Pisces. You might have these very strong placements in your chart, could be connecting to, or their seasons might be important to you. Cancer, honey, I do hope this helped you. Once more, I do believe in this. This looks absolutely gorgeous. The emotional commitment was there all along. It's just allowing yourself to go there, open up about it, express it, own it. Okay, for some of you that represents a very strong difficulty that in some ways you're familiar with. Okay. And then I see this beautiful exchange. It looks so simple. Yeah. And then the pathway to commitment gets a little stronger. Okay. Anyway, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well.